It's 7:30, so you know what that means. It's time for a live broadcast here on the channel. I hope you're well. I hope you can hear me coming through loud and clear from the garage this evening. You probably noticed the car is a little bit higher in the air than it normally is because it is currently up on axle stands as we are getting it ready for going off to Ypres. Now, I must just add that I think that YouTube has been fooled by the clocks going forward by an hour this week because it's saying it's going live at 8:30, where it's not. It's live at 7:30. We know it's 7:30, so I have pushed the video live anyway. But of course, what that means is you probably haven't had a notification telling people I go live in 30 minutes. So if you can share this video around with everyone you know, so the people that normally join on, so they know that we are live, then please do so. Hello, Jack. How you doing? Just talking to your dad today. I thought you might be on, so I hope you're doing good, buddy. Hope you're well, enjoying the first week of the Easter holidays. So we're here, we're in the garage. So I've got the car up on axle stands. Hello, Phil. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're well. Hope things are going well with you. Up on axle stands. I've got the bolts out of the under tray, and that's about as far as I've got this week with the oil change. One thing and another came along, and I just haven't had time over the weekend. But I do need to get the oil changed before we go to Ypres. I need to make sure that car has got fresh oil in it before we take it anywhere. So that is essential that we do. Got the oil over there. I've got the filter over there. I've got the car right here. I've got it up on axle stands. I have just, good evening, Richard. How are you? Hope you're well too, buddy. I've got the bolts out of the under tray, the main bolts. And when you do that, if you are ever taking an under tray off a 3.2 V6, it's much heavier than the 225. I was hoping to have it off so I could show you tonight the differences between them and the weight difference, because when you are removing it, I would highly recommend you put a jack underneath. Just take that weight off the back of it, because the entire weight of that under tray is being held down. Thank you, James Anderson. How are you doing, buddy? I do know a James Anderson. I used to go to school with James Anderson. What if it's the same one? Maybe, maybe not. But I hope you're well, wherever you are, James. Welcome along. But yeah, so the under tray on these great cars on the 3.2 is very, very heavy. It is made of metal, whereas the 225 1.8T engine has this plastic under tray, really light. You can hold it with one hand. You cannot hold this with one hand, trust me. So this particular car right here, that's a grease all over my hands, is going to get the oil change, probably done one evening this week when I get a chance to do it and spend some time. Obviously not tonight because I'm talking to you guys and we are live on the channel. So if you can imagine, the bonnet is normally down by my knees, but it's actually up by my waist. You can see I've also got a little box on here that I'm going to talk about tonight. I've got a lot of things to cover off. We haven't got long. I've only got 9 days until I climb aboard and we take the car to Belgium for the International TT show, which is coming up. I did put a video live at the weekend talking about some changes that you need to be aware of that are happening. And I'm going to, there's even more changes since the video went live, and I will cover off most of that this evening. So lots to cover off. I'm also going to tell you a little story about the 3.2 V6 tonight and about how it came about ending up in the Audi and the decisions that were made behind that and the reasons behind it, which is quite an interesting story. And it leads on to another story that I was told by a 3.2 V6 owner a few years ago, which I've mentioned on the lives before, about how he got to return his car because Audi sold him a DSG when he wanted a manual. But we'll cover that off as well tonight. But first off, guys, where are you tuned in from tonight? Please tell me where around the world you are watching from. I know where a couple of you are. Most of my, I see a couple of my members on so far. I see Richard's on, and I see that Phil is on as well. So I know where you guys are based, but there's a lot of new faces out there as well tonight. So let me know where you're watching from. Always good to have new people along, particularly if you already follow the channel. Hopefully you'll enjoy this and join us most week where we talk all things Audi TT. Mark 1, Mark 2, and maybe Mark 3 as well. But why don't you let me know in the comments where you're watching from and also what car you own, because it's always good to know what people have out there. So yeah, so let me know in the comments. I will carry on rabbiting on to you all anyway, give you a little bit of an update about the channel. I got the car, got the roadster in the garden for the first time this weekend. The ground is now hard enough to drive in the garden. So that's quite good because it means two things to me. Means one, we are probably going to be, hello Stuart, you're watching from Berkshire and you've got your 225 band, brilliant. Great car, great choice of car. But my roadster, hello Andy, how you doing, buddy? I see your tea and biscuits in the picture, so I know you're watching too. Um, the roaster's in the garden, no sinkage, it's holding firm, the ground's firming up, and that's great news because that means we will be ready for Springfest on the 31st, Sunday the 31st of May is when we're going to hold that. Don't forget. So guys, if you want to come along to Springfest this year and you haven't already let me know you want to come along, please let me know. Drop me an email, drop me a message, and let me know you'd like to attend Springfest here in the garden, Sunday the 31st of May. It's going to be a great event. I've got room for 40 cars in the garden. So if you want to be one of those 40 cars, then let me know. The roaster's out there. It also means the breaker car can now be towed around to the front of the house, and I can get up on axle stands, strip it down even more, and then get a scrappy to come and take it away for me, because there are some bits I still want to salvage off that I can reuse. Again, I want the subframes off it. There's some other bits I want to get off that as well. I did see a picture from, I think, the TT shop where they've got a load of old subframes all lined up for powder coat. And it was a nice picture, which I don't know why more breakers don't do. Restore those subframes before you sell them, because you'll get more money for them. Hence why I've got my two lovely subframes hanging up all ready to go on the car. Because interestingly, climbed under the car for the first time in a long time on this car to undo the two big bolts that hold the V6 under tray in place. And I've got my first look at the rear part of the front subframe. Looks a little bit crusty. Doesn't look like it's got too much rust on it, but it does look crusty. So that's a good reason at some point to get that swapped out. So what my plan is, and it's not going to be the immediate future, but this year, later on this year, my plan is to do a complete underneath restoration of this car. I'm going to change both the subframes and replace them with new powder coated treated subframes. Going to do all the arms at the same time, all bushes on the arms as well. And I'm also going to replace the suspension, shocks and springs, because a fellow channel member has just bought himself a set of new front springs and shocks, as he sent me a picture last night to show me what he bought. He's gone for Bilstein B4s, and that seems to me like the ideal way forward for any upgrade on the suspension, because obviously the OEM suspension is no longer available for these cars. So if you want to put new suspension on a V6, you need to opt really for the Bilstein B4. So that's the route I'm going to go. So I'm going to do new, I'm going to do new subframes or treated subframes, new arms and bushes. I'm also going to do front shocks and springs and probably rear shocks and springs as well. So then the car, from a suspension geometry perspective, is like brand new. I'll also do new top mounts on it as well. So then, you know, on these cars, the bodywork's looking good, the suspension's looking good, the brakes have been sorted, the engine, obviously, I've got to look after that. Hence why we are going to be doing an oil change this week to get this car ready to go. Jack Chitty, how are you doing, buddy? I've seen you getting that car ready for Ypres as well. Can't wait. It's getting close now. This last sort of 10 days before we go, everyone starts getting buzzy about it. It's going to be a fantastic couple of days in Ypres as always. And I'm going to touch on that tonight and talk about what we've got coming up over there, because it does need to be discussed. Mrs. Jugs, hello, Andy. TT all service, all plugs, filter suspension, all ready to go. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang. Yeah, Paul, maybe. I don't think it's chitty, chitty. I think it's more like chitty, chitty, zoom, zoom, that car. James Anderson, Northumberland, with a 2003 180 Quattro. Lovely. Mrs. Jugs, Vanessa, is also this week's feature car. So when you look at the thumbnail for this week's video, you can see the silver coupe that's on there, and that is, it's a very early coupe as well, that car that Vanessa owns, I believe, and it looks in great condition. It is going to be coming to Ypres as well with us on the Wednesday, and that is this week's feature car. So if you want to check out Vanessa's car and her husband Lee, their car is featured this week. What is the international, Andy? Oh, I don't know why. Did you not know about it? I'll tell you all about it in a minute. So I don't want to. I might not have mentioned it before. Andy, get some tank straps also if you can while you're under there, even if you need to get them restored. Okay, that's a great idea. Yeah. So I think while I'm doing the whole underneath feel, I will be treating everything to something new, because it does. Interestingly, I'll probably see if I can get the camera underneath the car at some point tonight and give you a look under there. I don't think the main part of the car looks too bad. While I think the front of the rear of the front subframe looks a bit crusty, the overall look underneath it looks all right. So I think, yeah, I think we're not in too bad shape. But guys, again, if you are watching and you wouldn't mind, please share this in various Facebook groups. Share it in the TT Addicts. I've not had a chance to do it, but of course we are live now. We were not live at 8:30 as the video is telling, so people have missed the start maybe. So if you can jump over there on the various groups, maybe put it in the TT forum as well. Tell people I'm live now so they don't miss out on this tonight's show. But yeah, we've got a lot to talk about, a lot to cover off as always. But again, if you've got any questions for me, please put them in the chat and I will see if I can answer them. But I will go over a bit of the rundown of what we've got coming up in Belgium, obviously, over the next week. So those of you that are convoying over with us on the Wednesday morning, if you've not already booked your crossing, why not? You need to book it quite quickly. But if you are going to convoy across with me and several other members, I think Vanessa, Mrs. Jugs, she's coming over with us on the convoy. I think Jeff Bedford is coming on the convoy. Gina, who is the boss of the TT Addicts, she's also joining us on the convoy, and various other people are coming over at the same time. And we've got an evening in Ghent planned on that first Wednesday evening before we head back to Ypres and spend a few days in Ypres. So if you've not booked your crossing, you want to come over and you want to join us on the convoy over on the Wednesday, then please do. We are going to be going over on 10:20. But the important part is if you want to join on that convoy and get on the train with us in the queue, we are going to be at Folkestone Services on Junction 11, I believe it is, on the M20. We meet at Folkestone Services at 8 a.m. Wheels roll at 8:30 to roll to the Eurotunnel. It's only about 5-10 minutes from there, so it's not far at all. But we are going to be meeting at 8 for an 8:30 leave. So please get there on time so we can roll off to the Eurotunnel. And then we'll head off. Once we get to the other side, what we tend to do is we pull into City Europe as we get across, maybe grab some local French delicacies and a couple of bottles of wine. So we've got some snacks for the journey and when we get there. So it's always good to have. So if you want to stop and get some bits from City Europe, please join us there as well. Then we'll roll on to Ghent for the afternoon. We're booked into Folkestone Services from the Tuesday night. That's a great idea. I think Jeff is also booked in near Folkestone on the night before as well. So I think that's a good idea. Me, I'm only 45 minutes from the Eurotunnel anyway, so I won't have too much of a long journey. So I've got no excuses for being late, although we'll have to get up early and let the ducks out before we leave. So that is the plan for the Wednesday. Thursday will be in Ypres. So I think the idea is we're going to roll to the Ariane Hotel. Most people are staying at the Ariane Hotel. So if you are coming on that trip, the Ariane is the place to stay. We're going to Thursday, do what you need to do Thursday. Thursday evening, we'll probably have some food at the hotel as well and a few drinks. Friday is the big day for the convoy. We're going to meet at 2 p.m. guys. It's 2 p.m. the meet at Tynecott Cemetery. That's where the convoy is going to start from. A local guy, Maxim, who owns a Mark III, I believe Maxim owns. He's going to take us on a tour around Ypres with all the other TTs that are going to be in Ypres on the day for the show. So we're going to go on a nice tour around. It's a couple of hour tour. It was originally meant to be starting at 3 p.m. from Caddy Car. So the original event video mentioned Caddy Cars at 3 p.m. That has now changed to Tynecott because of the route we need to take. We are meeting at Tynecott. We may need to change our plans due to work, which means we will just be there Saturday. Okay, Richard, no worries, mate. As long as you'll be there at some point, that's the important thing. Looking forward to seeing you. Dave James, I just driven my mate's plaid Tesla. Yeah, they are quick. I also own a Tesla, and they are very quick. But yeah, no need for the language though, Dave. It's a family show. But yeah, they are quick cars. I also own one, and I can attest to that. But they're not as much fun to drive as these beautiful cars, I have to say, as much as I love my Tesla. But we are on the convoy again, 2 till 4. The idea at 4 o'clock we'll end up at the Ariane Hotel for drinks and socialising and chat before we get ready to go out in the evening. So we are booked into the Trumpet at 7:30 in the town. It's only about a 10-minute walk from the hotel, not even that, 5-10 minutes into the town. And it's a great meal, great menu, great venue, lots of chat, lots of TT chatter around the room. Your chance to meet so many like-minded TTs from all over Europe. It's really great. As such, I have a Friday and Saturday reservation at Ariane if someone wants it rather than me cancelling pay on arrival. There you go. Okay, so there could be those that are looking to come along to the Ariane or to the Ypres weekend and want a booking at the Ariane. Richard has a room available. There you go. So if someone is looking for a late, a late cancellation booking to come along and they haven't booked anything yet, maybe speak to Richard or drop me a message and I can put you in touch with Richard directly. Hello, Andy. Can you do a backflip? We got some real interesting people. Not really, because I haven't got a lot of room to work. Well, I probably could do one if you want me to do one, but I'm really going to land on the car, aren't I? So that's probably a bad idea. Again, so that is the Friday evening. Saturday, obviously, the main event starts at Caddy Cars at 10 a.m. However, the Mistral Cars, which is the restoration unit at Caddy Cars across the way from there, amazing place to check out. It will be open from 9 a.m. to walk around and have a look at. And there will be a food truck serving croissants and coffee and all the early breakfast stuff as well from 9 a.m. on site as well. Thierry, who owns Caddy Cars, he would like early arrivals to line up in spokes around the roundabout for a picture. So if you want to do that and get there early and be part of that, then of course you can do so. The entrance to Caddy Cars this time is not as you come in, turn left down at the roundabout and go towards Caddy Cars. It's straight on this time as you get onto the industrial estate, and we go in through Unit 9, which is further up on the left-hand side near the big roundabout. So there is a different entrance to it. Of course, there is also Thierry's museum on the site. So if you want to go and view Thierry's collection of cars, it's 15 euros to get in. Great collection of cars. I highly recommend it if you're a petrol head. Go and have a look at that collection. It's not compulsory. You haven't got to go in, but every entry comes with a free drink and also an entry to the raffle to win a ride in one of Thierry's cars. He's going to be doing 6 fast rides around the town in one of his many cars. So if you want to be in the chance of that, you get a free entry as part of the entry to the museum, or you can buy a £5 charity donation ticket that goes to cancer research on the day for a chance to win a trip in his cars. Because of course, everyone has been, or not everyone has been to the museum before, but if you have, you might choose not to go in. If you choose not to go in, there is still a way to win a ticket for that journey. So yeah, definitely check that out. At 12:30, I will be live in Thierry's bar area because we're going to do a YouTube question and answer session. That will also be live on here. So if you are not able to join us in Ypres and you want to join us for virtually, I will be live from the show in Ypres as well. So you can tune in, you can watch me do a tour of the car, show you what's on display, and also you can join me for the question and answer session in the bar. Maybe we'll have someone monitoring the phone and reading out questions to me remotely as well as people in the room. So I think it'll be a really interactive day. Looking forward to doing that. I think Bryn was hoping to join us there as well from BWSTT. I'm not sure if Bryn's going to be able to make it now, unfortunately. So it might just be me doing the question and answer. If Bryn can make it still, then great. But it'd be great to see him there. But I know he's got a lot going on at the moment, so he might not be there with us. But again, guys, if you're enjoying what you're watching tonight, enjoying listening about the car, I'm just covering off the stuff about our trip to Ypres. But if that's boring, then just bear with me while I get it all out of the way. But if you are enjoying that, then please do give the video a thumbs up so you know I know you're enjoying it. It's always great to know what people are looking forward to. Always good to know what people are bringing to the show. Why don't you 11:30 UK time? Yeah, Phil, it will be 11:30 UK time. Good point. Good shout on that. Because yeah, it'll be 12:30 East European time. Is that East European time? No, Eastern Standard Time. No, is that right? Eastern data? No, European Standard Time. Is it? Wherever it is, EST. So yeah, it'll be European time. It'll be 12:30 or it'll be 11:30 in the UK. I'll also be going like CET. That's the one. I knew someone would know. I will probably be live from the show from about 11 a.m. CET. So 10 a.m. I'll probably be live here on YouTube. So if you want to get up early and watch me on here talking about the car, showing you what's on display, I'll probably walk around for an hour and talk about the cars. So please join me here on YouTube as well. I haven't finalised that yet, but that will probably be what we'll be doing. But of course, I'll be back in the UK on the Sunday. So the Monday show will still happen. So next Monday, we'll be getting ready for going just in a couple of days. Next Monday is obviously Easter Monday. so the bank holiday. So I will still be live next Monday if you want to join on and check out the show. But yeah, so that is probably all to cover off of stuff there. But good evening, Andy. Thanks for taking the time to do this again. No worries, Nick. It's always a pleasure to be on here and help you out, speak to you guys, and answer any questions. So if you've got any questions coming up about upcoming shows, any how-tos, any problems you got with the car, then let me know. But again, we've got the V6 here in the garage yet again this week. I'm going to talk about this because this has just turned up today, okay? And this is for my little road trip when I go to France in June. So this is a new dash cam that's just turned up. It's quite an expensive dash cam, but you get what you pay for. I have to say, it's made by DPI, and it's a 3-camera setup for the car. I'm going to put in the Roadster, whether it's going to be good in the Roadster, because obviously it's got a rear view camera, front view camera. Obviously, there's not much of a rear view in the Roadster, but I might set it up on the glass plate behind our head just to see what it looks like. So I'm going to do a deep dive review of this and compare it to a lot of the other dash cams that are out there. It looks like an absolute superb bit of kit. It does 4K recording, and that does 4K 3-channel recording as well. So I will do a deep dive review of this if you're looking for a dash cam, because at least it will help you make up your mind what you want. Because a lot of these dash cams, they're 1080p, so they're doing HD. But the trouble is that when I've looked at HD dash cams, when you are paused or when you're in stationary traffic, you can see the number plates fine. When you start getting moving, or the car's more than about 20 yards ahead of you, you can't really see the number plates. This, with the resolution, this will get all those number plates, and it also works really well at night. I haven't done a review of it yet. I am going to do a review of it and cover it all off, but it just looks... It's even got a cabin view, so it records what you're doing as well. So make sure that you're not up to anything naughty in the car. So you can use it as great evidence, obviously, in an accident or for whatever you need. I might see if I can use the footage that it generates for a bit of content for the channel as well. So that will be really good. Now, we are taking this to, we are taking the car on a trip around France again in June. I say France, we're also going to take in a bit of Switzerland as well. We're going to take the car down to from Rouen to Clermont-Ferrand, then down to Fréjus, and then on to Nice, Monaco, Chamonix. Then we're going to take it to Grindelwald as well in Switzerland to have a look at the north face of the Eiger. I've always wanted to go and look at that, so I'm going to take it there as well. And then I'm going to head back through Mulhouse on the way back, onto Reims, stop at, is it Le Guerre, is it called, or the Guerre, which is the Grand Prix track in Rouen, the old Grand Prix pits. Stop there and then come back. So 2 weeks touring around France. That's going to be my my holiday for this year. Tonight's the first time that I'm not asking you about fixes for my TT. Yes, so Andy, let's talk about Andy's car. So Andy joined us in the garage just a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. I forget now. I think it was 2 weeks ago. And Andy has got a Merlin Purple Roadster. He's owned it for a couple of years. It's been off the road for a long time, and he's been slowly getting it back into running condition. And there's been ups and downs over the last few months. Got it running, starts running rough, changed a few things, had it serviced, just kept fettling away at it, got his mechanic to look at it. And I think finally, Andy's car is now running really well. It sounds like it's performing as it needs to. So it should be, fingers crossed, in good condition to make it to Ypres. So I think that might be the only Merlin Purple Roadster that we'll have in Ypres. I've not seen another Merlin Purple Roadster while I've been there. So Andy, you might be alone with your car as being the only one there. So looking forward to seeing you and celebrating you getting there with a beer maybe when you arrive. So yeah, hello Christoph, how you doing? Thought it felt earlier than usual. Hope you had a good week. No, we're all at a normal time, 7:30, but the video's saying 8:30 this week for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's just the clocks have gone back when I put the video. I'm adding the video to the channel maybe. But yeah, we are here. So thanks for jumping on. Always good to see you guys on, all the members in the chat. Got quite a few members on now tonight. But of course, if you do want to become a member of the channel and support me, if you're not already a member, then please do become part of my clandestine inner circle of supporters. It's always much appreciated. Helps me do what I do and helps the channel keep on going. And of course, you don't have to join the channel as a member, but please do subscribe to the channel and give this a thumbs up as well. And of course, if you don't want to commit to a membership, you're more than welcome to just buy me a cup of tea, make a little donation on the super chat button down below. All the super chat, super thanks really help me keep me in cups of tea when I'm in the garage, because it's the first time I've been in the garage tonight and it's not been absolutely freezing for weeks. So it's been good to be out here. I haven't got my thermals on, just out here talking to you guys. So yeah, so we've got the dash cam that I'm going to fit to the Roadster rather than this car, because this car's already got a lovely dash cam in it that came with the car when I bought it. Nice. This has got a really nice setup, a nice AV setup. It's got a Kenwood head unit, double DIN Kenwood head unit, Apple CarPlay, wireless Apple CarPlay, and a lovely camera as well. So yeah, I can't argue with that. I've got all the bits to put it back to standard if I ever need to, but I don't know. It's really weird looking out my garage windows in the distance and I can still see daylight. That's really unusual because it's the first time we've done a live and it be daylight, as we are in week 13 of the live shows, believe it or not, of this year. Week 13 we've been doing it for now. Can you believe we are now a quarter of the way through the year already? That's mad, isn't it? So just in a few days it will be April and we're into the second quarter. Absolutely bonkers. The year has flown by. But I thought we'd talk about the V6 tonight and the V6 platform in general and how it came about in the Audi TT. I don't know if anyone knows the story behind it, but so you might want to get comfortable, get your cup of tea and your biscuits ready, Andy. So I'm going to talk about the Audi TT power plant, the 3.2 V6 power plant, why it was chosen, and the reasoning behind why it came about. Because back in the very early or late 1999, 2000, Audi were trying to look at how they could come up with a new concept, a new powerful concept for the car, because at the time they had the 1.8T engine, as we know, in the car, which delivered that turbo power, that raw turbo power, the turbo lag, and it was a great driving experience if you enjoyed turbo cars. But of course, what it didn't do, it didn't give that executive feel of pure direct power, just instant direct power of a normally aspirated engine. So Audi were looking to what they could do to make an all singing, all dancing, powerful variant. And they tried a few things. And there's a video on my channel, if you've not checked it out, which we call the first TTRS. And that is where the Audi took the 1.8T engine out of the car and took the shape of the TT, and they thought they'd homologate it into this absolute Frankenstein's monster of a car. They stuck it on a B5 running gear, 2.7 litre bi-turbo on the car. Of course, that was never going to be a production model, but I think they were just trying to go for something all singing, all dancing. But of course, that was a V6 engine, and I think that must have got the creative juices flowing at Audi. And at the time, back in the early 2000s, people were after more powerful power plants, bigger engines. That was the fashion back then. Porsche were doing it, BMW were doing it. They were looking for that really high level 3 litre plus power plants that delivered the power. Of course, back then in those days, Formula One was all V8s, V10s, and sometimes, well, I think the V12s have been phased out by them, but V10 was all about the power. So that big monster power is what it was all about. Because I guess at the time, fuel economy wasn't top of people's priorities. So it was seen as a bit of a status symbol to have a bigger engine, bigger power. And of course, the TT, although the 1.8T engine fills the engine bay, the 3.2 V6 that had just come about into the market as an engine power plant would have fitted into this perfectly. So that was an opportunity to put a normally aspirated engine, a big unit, into a really little car. Because if you think about it, the TT's quite a small car, and have a 3.2 V6 engine is absolutely crazy, because you think that's not far. It's almost like a muscle car version in a little tiny frame, I guess. But of course, there was already this power plant coming along, because the Volkswagen platform, the VAG platform, the Mark IV Golf had decided to go with this power plant in 2002. So the power plant that sits in the TT and the power plant that sits in the VW R32 Golf, technically it's the same engine. However, the Mark IV version of the VR6, the R32 engine, only generated about 241 brake horsepower at the time. So it had about just under sort of 7 or 8 brake horsepower less than the TT ends up with it as well. And that's a lot of that's probably down to the power, that the weight ratio of the cars, because the V32, the R32 Golf was a little bit heavier than this car anyway, so it didn't have quite as much power. It was a little bit slower off the mark as well. So the TT was allegedly meant to do the 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds, and the R32 6.6 seconds at the time. There's some figures I've just bounced off the top of my head for you. And of course, what had happened at the time is that Audi were looking for this car. They also had this great platform already, but what they wanted to do is they wanted to expand it out and compete against the BMWs and the Mercedes as that prestige brand. So they were looking to take the halo model of their range, to really make it something a bit special. So of course, at the time, because of the VAG platform, they were also coming up with the DSG. So the DSG gearbox was going to be the next big thing. It was meant to be a smooth distribution of power. It was going to be the automatic quick change gearbox that they really hoped it was. Of course, they wanted to put that into the TT. So with the 3.2 V6 and the DSG gearbox coming together as an ideal power plant and transmission unit, it made complete sense to put it into the TT, and they did that. So the R32 Golf, that also had the DSG gearbox, the first version of that, and the same with the TT. Now we know the DSG gearbox of that era has had a few issues with mechatronics units, as we still find even to this day that there are problems that are now occurring. But then again, the car is 20 years old, so it's not doing too bad, is it? But that DSG gearbox was seen by Audi as being its way of delivering smooth, fast gear changes automatically to the range. So they combined that, they put it into the range, and we ended up with this. So this was seen as the real executive top-end model of the TT range. So some may argue that the Quattro Sport is that. I know Richard might say that because he owns one, but the power delivery of those, obviously in a turbo, is very different to a normally aspirated engine. So this was seen as the real luxury model of the TT range. And of course, it underwent some styling differences. The V6 has got those very different front bumper. It's got the extra lip on the rear spoiler as well, as we know, which obviously filtered across to the Quattro Sport when that finally came into fruition a few years later. But this was seen as the ultimate release of the Audi TT Mark 1. And I think it probably is. It's definitely, as a driving experience, it's wonderful to get behind the wheel of and just feel that power. And the DSG gearbox is something quite clever how it works. I don't know if you know how it works, but the principle being it's being intuitive almost. And what it's doing is the gear that you have selected, it's automatically pre-selecting the next gear that it's going to give you, because it's running with dual clutches in the gearbox. There's 2 clutches in the gearbox. So you've got the one that's handling the gear you're in, and it's got one handling the next gear it's going to chuck you. One clutch handles the odd gears, and one clutch handles the even gears. Easy for you to say, Andy. So you've got one that's handling 1, 3, and 5, one handling 2, 4, and 6. So if you are putting your foot down and it's bypassing a gear, I don't know how it works with those dual clutches, but that's apparently how the principle of the car works. And that's why you get those lightning fast gear changes, because the gear you're in, it's got the next gear waiting, ready to go in the queue as such. And that's how it gets those lightning fast gears. And of course, you've got a couple of different driving styles of that gearbox, as you can technically drive it in sport mode as well. So you put it in sport mode, and it then really bumps the revs up and it really starts snatching. And I don't personally, it sounds mean, that does. It sounds a real mean engine when you've got it in sport mode. It sounds like you're on a racetrack. I don't know how good that is for the engine to drive it in sport mode. I think it sounds a bit raspy and a bit abrupt. And I don't know how good that is for the gearbox as well. So I don't tend to drive it in that very often. But what I do tend to do is, if I want to, I've got the paddles, and I can use the paddles, the Tiptronic paddles on the back of the gear of the steering wheel, to change gear. And of course, as long as you're only changing one at a time, you're going to be making the best use of that dual clutch gearbox, where it's swapping the gears out either way. So yeah, so that's So that is how the TT 3.2 V6 ended up with the power plant and how it ended up with the DSG gearbox. But the story I was going to tell you earlier, which you may have remembered, I was going to talk about the gentleman that owned the car that he took back, because there was a guy that had bought a Kingfisher. He'd bought a Kingfisher 225, right? And the reason he bought the Kingfisher 225 is he wanted a V6, and he went to the dealership and he said, "I would like a Kingfisher Audi TT Mark 1." Well, not Mark 1 because it was only a Mark. It was only Mark then. "I want a Kingfisher Audi TT. I want a V6 one, please, in manual." And they said, "Sorry, we can do you the special order colour, but we're only supplying the V6 with the DSG gearbox." And it comes with the automatic gearbox. And after what I've learned over the last few days about that DSG gearbox and about how Audi wanted to use this platform and the V6 engine as the ideal platform to introduce the DSG and showcase it to the public, I can see now why Audi choose not to give a manual gearbox. Because if you are using this engine as a selling point for your new DSG function, you're not going to start allowing manual gearboxes. So initially the car came out with no manual option. So this chap said, "Well, I don't want a Kingfisher blue automatic car. I want a manual car." So they said, "Well, we've got the 225 coupe. If you want one of those, we can order one of those in." So they did. They ordered him a coupe in 225 coupe in Kingfisher blue, and he had it for about 6 months. And then, lo and behold, Audi, in their wisdom, turned around and said, "Oh, we're now going to make the V6 available in manual." Oh, 1 second, guys. Oh, I thought that was about to fall off the shelf. There was a bottle about to fall off the shelf. I could see it creeping. But yeah, so the Kingfisher blue that he'd said he wasn't going to have it available in the manual. Then they also made it available in manual. So he went back and said, "Hold up, you said to me you weren't making this in manual, and now you've made it in manual 6 months later. So you've sold me a car I didn't really want, and I now want that car. Thank you very much." And they said, "You know what? We'll honour that." So they bought the car back off him, and they ordered him a 3.2 V6 manual Audi TT in Kingfisher blue. And that guy still owns this car to this day. You see him at a few shows. I believe his name is Chris, and his registration is 32TT. If you see that car out there, then you know why. Hey up, looking sharp there, brother Andy. Hope you guys are good and well. Johnny, I reckon that might be you, John, down with your lovely blue Mark 1 that's not coming to Ypres this year. You're going to be sorely missed, buddy, by calling me brother Andy. I reckon that it must be you, John. But yeah, you're going to be sorely missed in Ypres this year, buddy. So, but I hope you're well, and I hope to catch up with you at some point this year, because it's always good to see you. But yeah, so I just told that whole story in the last, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes about the V6. So I've definitely got a lot of Audi TT stories bouncing around my head. I must have to write a book about them at some point, maybe. But hopefully you enjoyed that story about the car and about the guy that now owns the manual 3.2 V6. If you get a chance to see that car at a show, I would absolutely say you need to go and check it out up close. It's only done about 12,000 miles, and it smells when you open the door like a new car. I can't describe that car. It's like it's just come out of the showroom. It's amazing. It's immaculate. Please check out that car if you see it at the show. I'm sad I'm not going, and be great to see you too. Yeah, definitely, buddy. We'll sort something out, because obviously I do come down to Eastleigh on business quite a bit. So if I'm ever down that sort of Southampton way, maybe I'll give you a shout and get you to come over and maybe have some dinner at one point if I'm staying overnight, and catch up and have a few drinks. Be good to see you, buddy. But yeah, so that's my V6 story of the night. So let me know what you think of that story. Let me know your thoughts on what power plant you actually prefer in this car, if you've driven them both. What do you actually prefer driving? Do you prefer the V6, or do you prefer the 1.8 turbo? Be interested to see what people say and what you own. Let me know. But if you're enjoying what you're watching tonight, guys, then please do give it a little double click on the screen and tell me which is your favourite car as well. But let me know you're enjoying it. Chris takes it to some of the TT. Yeah, is it? Yeah, it is. It is Chris, isn't it? I couldn't. I'm right there, Andy, aren't I? The first time I saw it, we went to a show up in the Midlands about 3 years ago, the Vorsprung show. I know, Andy, I met you there, didn't I? And that was the first time I'd seen Chris's car. And yeah, it was absolutely immense. It's the first time I saw that crazy 2.7 litre twin turbo B5 homologation thing as well. You haven't driven a V6. You'll have to have a go in mine when I see you, Johnny, at some point. You have a go in mine. I've got my lovely Papaya, which is sitting right here behind me, as you can see. But I'm in some dark colour clothing tonight because I do want to. Once I've come off air tonight, I'm going to climb underneath this and get this oil change underway because I've got sitting over here. Not only have I got the oil filter to go on, I've actually got a genuine. Look at that. That's a genuine Audi, or from the Volkswagen part. There's the oil filter for the Audi TT Mk1 3.2 V6. Not what you'd imagine, is it? Because it's not one of the what I class as the metal canister type ones. So to do this, underneath there's like a black plastic like hexagon nut that you take off, and I should be careful with this because what it also has in here, there's actually a big washer. See that big washer that you have to install as well? So I was quite fortunate a few years ago. I went to the Nürburgring on a weekend with the TT boys, and got talking after a few drinks one night with a chap that owns a Mk1, George Webb. If you know George Webb, he doesn't own it anymore, but he had a great Mk1, and he told me he had a load of V6 filters and V6 oil as well that he just wanted to get cheap. He said, I've got 3 filters and 3 oil. You can have it for 50 quid. I was like, I will buy that off you. So then I think he realised after a few drinks he'd done too much of a good deal, but it means I've had a couple of oil changes out of it. So I've got the oil sitting over there, box of cube, and I've also got that filter. I think that's the last one I've got of George's supplies now. But it hasn't done bad. It's done 3 years. So there you go. That's what's going to be going on this week. I'm also going to be fitting this as well, which is the fuel filter. So I'm going to put a new fuel filter on for going to Ypres as well, so that we get nice, clean, flowing fuel. Now, I did wonder what the state of it would be like, because when you actually change the fuel filter, you have to be a little bit careful taking the pipes off, because you can snap those pegs off the fuel filter, and then you have to like fish them out. I know someone had broken them on the Facebook groups this week and was talking about how to do that. Excuse me, coughing up. Right, so mil turns, but 2 questions for you, Andy. Do you have cruise control on your V6? Yes, I do. When are you doing your fuel filter? Been wanting to do mine for ages. I'm waiting for your expertise. That's very kind of you to say. I might try and do it this week before I go to Ypres at Milton, or I might do it the weekend. Obviously, we've got Good Friday, Saturday, Easter Sunday, and Monday, so 4 days off to get all these jobs done. At some point over those 4 days, I will be detailing this car and making it look amazing. I'm gonna give you a little show of my windscreen as well. I don't know if I can get a bit of turn this around. Let's see if I can do that. So obviously the windscreen of these cars, of all cars, it suffers with road film, doesn't it? That's what it suffers from. And I got sent this, which looks a bit odd and a bit inconspicuous. What are you using that for? But what it is, it's actually a little tiny polisher. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it on. Let's turn it on. Give it a little power. Come on, Andy, turn it on. Press the right button. Oh, there you go. It's on now. There you go. So there's the button. It's got 3 power settings, which doesn't look that fast, does it? Even on the fastest speed. But trust me, it also comes with this paste. I'm going to try and find the paste for it as well. But essentially, it comes with something called road film paste, and you can use it on the windscreen. And essentially, what you do is you polish the windscreen with it. And if you feel a windscreen, you can normally feel like bugs and just oil and film on it. But look at the difference. Then if you might be able to hear this, because I can take the mic off, and then I'll take this little mic over there with me. So I've done parts of the car. I've done parts of the screen. Now listen to this. Can you hear that? Now I haven't done that bit, Now, if I run my fingers over a bit I've done, can you hear that? It just moves. It's not, it's, you can hear the scratchiness of that. And now this, there's no, and it's dead smooth. So I was a bit skeptical about polishing my windscreen with with that little polisher, but it's done a great job. So I recommend doing that. So if you've got like oil film build up on the screen, you can't get it off, then I definitely recommend that. So that's just something I just thought I'd point out that I've tried. You can also polish out scratches. So the Tesla had 2 scratches on the one corner. It looked like someone with a black car has just like brushed against it. So these marks on it, and I thought they were through the paint, but when I polished them with that, it polished it up. And I also thought, oh, that's quite good. It's coming off quite well with a bit of body compound. And it also, I polished the whole core of the Tesla, and the Tesla paintwork is beautiful white again now, and the rest of it looks quite dull. So it does a really good job. So I've got those in my TikTok shop at the moment. They're £16 if you want one, but they are really quite good for doing that. I was a bit skeptical for, is it going to be any good, because it's got like 3 speeds and they don't seem that fast, but it's done a brilliant job. Just because it's not going fast, it's not burning your paint. Right, Darren Niederhoff says, I just bought a mini polisher similar to that, but with multiple speeds, and it's been wonderful. I've refinished a few headlight lenses. I've done the same, Darren. Yeah, so it's got 3 speeds. I've also, I'll show you my headlight actually. So here's the headlight. I've done that headlight as well. Can you see that headlight? Because that was really quite marked. That's come out really, really well. I was really pleased with how that's come out. But you get 2 little pads of it as well. They little Velcro pads. You see the little Velcro on, and you get the little polishing compound as well. I'm really pleased with it, how it's come out. So highly recommend that if you want something for working on the car, because I've also got this. I've got what I class as the traditional DA polisher. Now, the thing about that is, if you've got scratches you're trying to get out, it's too much of a big pad. You can't be precise on that area. But something like the mini polisher, look at the difference of the size. So if you've got a little area you want to work on, that's perfect. Whereas that is just a bit overkill for what you want. So I'm sure there's other ones are available, but I think that's a really, really good product. So I'm quite a fan of that. Should I give you a little look under the car and see if we can show you what I'm working on under the car? It's amazing, the finish of the glass after polish. Yeah, it does. It comes out amazing, doesn't it? Have you tried the rain? I hardly ever need to use my wipers in the rain these days. I've not tried that, no. So I'm just going to have a little look under here. So here we go. So here is under the car. See if we can see. So under here, we've got, it's one of the nuts. So this one of the 2 huge nuts or bolts that hold the under tray, and you can see under there I've got the jack holding the back of the under tray up, because it's so heavy, this under tray, and it's made out of metal, most of it. You need to support that so it doesn't come crashing down on you. I've got the car, as you can see, on 2 axle stands there, supporting the weight of the car. Now, the thing that makes me nervous mostly about working on the TT underneath it on the V6 is because the axle stands, and I've tried to keep them as far forward as possible on the rails and the chassis rails, because I don't want the front, all the weight is obviously in the engine here, and I don't want the engine coming down on top of me and collapsing, seesawing down on me when I'm under the car. So I'm going to try and get this under tray off as quick as possible so I can start work up here on the oil filter, because that's up there is where I'm going to be working. So that's underneath the car. I don't know if you can see right to the back there, but it does look quite clean further back. It's not too bad, but it's the back of the I don't know if we can put under there like that. Here we go. So there is my subframe. You can see it looks quite crusty. Can you see that? Doesn't look great, does it? It doesn't look rotten, but it does look quite crusty. But yeah, we can see up there into the wheel well. You can see that it doesn't look like there's any grease coming out of the CV joint. So there's your CV joint there on the driver's side. Now, what you should know about on these is these are obviously the lower control arms. If I'm telling you things you already know, I'm sorry, but just to share this with people. So this is the lower control arm here. You can see it's attached at the back of the subframe there, and also at the front of the subframe, and also onto the wheel right here, onto the hub. Now, on the V6, if you want to remove these, because of the bolt positions, particularly with DSG, you have to lower the subframe to get the control arms off. You can't just unbolt them like you can on the 225. But there you go. So you can see there's the cats as well. But it doesn't look too bad under here. This doesn't look like there's any oil leaking at all from the CV joints. That's good. I know the passenger side one had failed, and I have replaced the drive shaft. So we can probably go over to the passenger side and have a look at that. So if we come over here, we'll bring the light over as well so you can see. Let's have a look. There you go. Seems to be a little bit of leakage there, actually. That's interesting to look at why that's doing that. But that is weeping a little bit. So there you go. That's something I need to have a look at. Why is that weeping on that one? So I'll have to have a look at that and get that sorted. So that's not a new arm on there then by the look of it. But you can also see up there is my Brembo brake calipers as well. That's obviously I've swapped over. You can see those right there as well. And yeah, all looking good and solid under there. So hopefully, got grease on my hands now. I'm just going to come out of there. And we'll put you up here, guys. Lost my glasses. Lost my light. Oh, it's all falling apart. Put it back in there. There you go, guys. Live TV, eh? Right, so let's get that. Wipe some grease off my hands. What car were your Brembos from? So my Brembos are from a Seat Leon Cupra R. They are I'd say the go-to upgrade is probably the best way to describe it. If you are looking to upgrade your brakes on your Audi TT Mark 1, normally on a 225, I'd say is the standard upgrade for it. So the brakes on the V6, you can't get the calipers anymore. They're no longer available. So you have to do something. And one of the popular upgrades is to go from the 334 calipers, which are 334 millimeter calipers, down calipers discs, twin pot calipers, to a 323 4-pot caliper on the Seat Leon Cupra R. So your disc size is coming down by 11 millimeters, so it's a smaller disc, but you've got an increased stopping power because you've got 4 pistons acting on each caliper rather than just 2. So if you think about it, on the way the calipers work on these calipers work, they've got 2 pistons either side, and they clamp onto the disc with pressure from either side. The TT caliper with the twin pot, it's actually pushing just one side. You've only got one side of pressure. The other side, it's pulling it in, obviously, but it's not actually pressing from both sides. Do you rate the Brembo calipers over stock? Yes, I do. It's definitely a different braking technique. It's a smoother braking, I'd say. Not as sharp, but it's definitely a smoother braking technique. I quite like it. That was my only option, really. But I do have the old calipers off the car, and I am going to rebuild them. So I'm going to do a video on rebuilding them. I'm also going to find my glasses, because I feel without my glasses, I feel a bit naked, you know. So I put my glasses on. Hi, do you know how to get access to brake sensors on the brake reservoir? The brake pressure sensors, I guess you're talking about, they're on the servo, aren't they? It's a pig of a job. Magnum, I say it's a pig of a job. I can show you where they are if you want me to show you, because this also had a brake pressure sensor problem, and they sit just in that corner. I'll see if I can open the bonnet. I'll take this lovely dash cam off for now, and I'll open the bonnet and I'll see if I can show you where that is on the car. But basically, you need to take so much off to get to it, which is why it's an expensive job. If you're going to do it, it is an expensive job to get it done by the garage. Okay, here we go. Got the engine open, the bay open. Thing about doing this show is that I get all the legs tangled up. There we go, on the lights. Okay, so you have got, I can bring you over. down in there, you can see the survey there, servo at the back there, right behind. If I can't even get my hand down, I need a little pointer like Bryn has, don't I? Richard, I've got your blue light here. I'm going to see if I can do, how do I work this? Down there, on the back there is where those are going to be, all on here, okay? So that all the brake pressure bits are all down the back there. And it's a real pig to get. Oh, probably can't see. It's all down the back there. So you've got to take a lot off to get to it. We look down there. It's all round the back there. Bit of a pig of a job. It's actually quite a tricky job to even on the 225, to be honest. So yeah, so it is a bit of a pain in the backside to do. Hopefully it helps. Claire Burke, what is the fault number for a dodgy brake sensor? Is it 55? There's various codes it throws up, to be fair, Claire. Hello, Stephen. How you doing? Richard, Stephen, even Andy. You're looking well. Sorry for the hassle of the dash cam. Can we sort something out at Springfest in May? Yeah, we'll sort something out. I say I've got one. I've got a dash cam that's literally turned up today for review. I've been talking about it, which is this one. This is what's going in my Roadster. Look at this. This is Pucker, this one, but this is a £400 dash cam. So I don't think that one's going to be on TikTok Shop. But the one on TikTok Shop, you should be able to get on my video. And I don't know why you couldn't see that on my video, because it's this one here. This is the one that's £20 on TikTok Shop, on my TikTok Shop. Definitely work. Yeah, can read the codes. I can read the codes very well. I can read the codes very well. Okay, so you can get the codes out, but you just don't know what they are. Is that right? If you can get the codes out on with ODB2. Hello, Steve. How you doing, buddy? Quite a few members now. Claire's on. Steve's on. Who else have we got? Christoph's on earlier. We've got Andy's on. Who else have we got on? Who else have we got on at the moment from the members? Richard George, Phil P. A load of members on tonight. Great to see you on, guys. I think Mrs. Jugs was on earlier as well. So, yeah, look, great to see all the members on tonight. Good to have you along and supporting the channel as always. Can't see the instrument codes. I can't see the... okay, so you can't read the codes very well. So, Claire, I don't know where you're based, Claire, off the top of my head. But, again, I think we did speak about it. I'm happy to read the codes for you. If you can get the car to me... the instrument panel not clear? You mean the instrument cluster on the dash, that little window? Yeah, so really the best way of reading codes is to have something like this. Is get yourself one of these. This is what you need, because then you can, if you've got problems with your car, you just plug this in and it tells you exactly what the problem is. So this is the Arty Diag 600S. You can also get that on my TikTok Shop. Actually, I've got those for sale on my TikTok Shop. You plug this into the car, turn it on. It tells you exactly what the error code is with the car and how to fix it. It's either interactive now, so they actually go straight into a browser and you can look it up in Google. Brilliant things. Just waiting for the RAC after work. Thought I'd come say hi to fill the time. Hello, Heidi. How come you're waiting for the RAC? What's happened? What's happened to your car? Hopefully you haven't broken down again. Although if the RAC's coming out, probably is. That's not good. Hope you're well anyway. I think Rom's doing you a cake price as well, isn't she, I think, at the moment. But I hope you're well. My car broke. Where are you broken down? Whereabouts are you broken down? I guess somewhere near Maidstone. If I was not online, or if I was not live, I'd come and help you out. Waiting for the RAC. If the RAC aren't there in the next sort of 7 oaks, oh blimey. Do you know what the ETA is? If the RA, have you let them know that you're a girl on your own as well? Please let them know that, as they'll make you priority. If they're not out in the next hour, please let me know, and I'll see if I can come out and sort that, because it's not good to have people out on their own broken down, is it? But yeah, so that's where the brake, where your brake pressure sensors are on that servo at the back there. I have just started filming a video that is. If you're coming to Ypres next weekend, guys, I highly recommend you, and you've got a V6, I highly recommend you speak to a guy called Andrew, who's also known as Swiss Jet Pilot on the TT forum. And he's the guy that gave me the solution to solve if your PCV system is failed on the TT. When the diaphragm fails under this valve cover, we talked about it last week. So if the valve, if the diaphragm has failed under here, you get a high pitched whistling at the back. There's a small hole in the back of this valve cover, and you get a high pitched whistling coming out of here, which tells you the diaphragm's failed. The part to replace is £800 if you can get hold of it. They don't make them anymore anyway, so it's really hard to track down. But the solution is you put a small self tapper into the back of the valve cover to fill that hole up, and you replace this black pipe at the back here with an external PCV solution off a Volkswagen Touareg off the 3.6 V6 engine, and that puts the diaphragm from there to there. Straight replacement, £30, and that solves the problem. Andrew showed me that solution when we were in Ypres a couple of years ago, and I was really impressed with it. So I haven't had to do it yet because the car hasn't failed on that, but at least it's good to know that there is a solution for it. Okay, between 10 and 11. Okay, let me know then, Heidi, if you get stuck, and I'll see if I can come out. If you what is the problem? Is it not starting, or what's the problem? Let me know what the problem is. I can hopefully get you back on the road. But yeah, what else am I doing? The paintwork on this car right now is shocking as well. So I need to actually get it jet washed, get snow foamed up at the weekend. I'm so glad that the hose pipe ban was finally lifted, because then I can actually get back to washing the cars again, because that's been a bit of a strain with me for the last few weeks. I've also been obviously stripping this engine down. Still haven't got the 225 apart. I do want to do that this week, really. I know, Richard, we were going to get you down to do it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to. I need to get the video out. I haven't put a proper how-to video out for a while. I've got a few in the making at the moment, but I need to get something out, because I'm sure you're all waiting for the latest how-to video from me, because it's that's where I seem to get the best feedback, is people seem to like the how-tos, because I think the way I describe how to do things is quite simple. It's not meant to be patronising in any way. It's not that. It's meant to be for beginners like me, learning, just working out to do things, and hopefully I put it in straightforward language that everyone can understand, like beginner's guides to stuff. I did speak to Bryn yesterday, actually, talking of guides, and he came down obviously at the end of last year, and we filmed a video together on me doing the cam belt change on the Roadster, and Bryn filmed it and sat there, and he was talking me through how to do it and filming what we were doing. But unfortunately, because of the lights in the garage here at the time, the strip lights, they've caused a lot of like flickering in the GoPro. So when he's watched the footage back, it hasn't come out very clearly. So he's refilmed it, and he's probably going to get a beginner's guide out for people based on what we did, but it's not going to be the footage of us in the garage. He's refilmed it. Some of it will be the footage of us in the garage with the engine out of the, so it'll be my engine that you'll see when we're taking it apart and talking about it, but it won't be my experience doing the cam belt. It's a bit of a shame, but I also get, if he's got better footage, definitely use that instead. So hopefully we'll get a beginner's guide, or Bryn will get the beginner's guide out and help you all through it. But yeah. What can you do if your upholstery is starting to fray? Where is it fraying, Claire? So on the doors, on the headliner, on the seats, door cards, carpets. Where is it starting to fray? Best thing to do if you're getting bad condition interior is try and track down a breaker that's got one to swap out. Is the best way to replace it. Side of the seats. Do you know what? If your seats are coming apart, Claire, I would recommend speaking to a breaker, getting another set of seats for maybe £150, £100, and then selling your seats for, if they're fraying, you might get near enough the same money for it. So a new set of seats might cost you maybe 20 or 30 quid, and you've got a new set of seats. And it also gives you the opportunity, if you want to change the colour of your seats, you can do that at the same time. You can go for a different colour interior, couldn't you? So there's a few options that you can do on that. I have wondered about maybe swapping the Roadster for baseball, having a baseball interior in the Roadster, because they seem to go nice. The Roadsters, Silver Roadster, baseball interior seems to be a popular choice. I know one of my fellow organisers for the TT International show in Belgium, well, in fact, the three of us that have organised it, we all own a Silver Roadster. Simon owns one, I own one, and also does Frank. Frank's got a 3.2 V6 one with a baseball stitch interior, lovely condition car as well. Calls it Sylvester, and it is being fettled this weekend, I notice, ready for coming to Ypres. So yeah, definitely check that out. Yeah, so Claire, maybe look at getting a second set of seats rather than repairing them, because the money you're going to invest in repairing seats, you might as well just get another set of seats. But yeah, so that would be my advice, if you want to do that. But we'll have another. I might show you some bits of damage that's been caused. Now I've got a closer look as well, guys. So if I can pick one up. So this is the camshaft of the broken engine, the timing belt failed engine. And if I show you these cams, if I spin them round, can you see there's like actual marks, impact marks on the cams where they've been hit together on top of the hydraulic lifters have done damage. Can you see that? You can actually see marks on the cams where they've come into contact with the hydraulic lifters. There's a fair bit of contact damage there where they've come together. But yeah, so that's probably a good sign that we're going to find more damage to the valve stems when we get them out of the car. In fact, what I'm going to do, if I pick up, so this is the exhaust camshaft. This has got bigger cams on it. Can you see they're bigger? There's 2 per cylinder rather than 3. But what you'll see if I rotate this round, so there's the cams. Not my daughter cam, obviously, but the cams. Can you see those marks there? Those like smudges, right? If I point that here, and here, can you see there's like round stamp marks in that? So that's damage to the cams on this camshaft where they've come into contact with the hydraulic lifters. So that's not great. That's a good sign that we're going to find damage. I did wonder. I think the cams are all. I think if you have any damage to the face of the cams, you can actually have them welded and then have them ground back down. I think that's an absolute non-starter, really. I think you would rather, in fact, there you go. Look at those, see those round marks there on that cam as well. You see those? They're almost like stamp marks from where the hydraulic lifters come into contact. So there you go. That's not a good sign, but we have got it to a state now, at least, that engine, where we can start taking it apart. It definitely moves. I think all the head bolts are loosened off. These need to come out. I'm just trying to spot if there's anything left on it that would stop me taking it apart. Guys, if you've got any questions for me, then please put it in the chat as well, because I'm always happy to answer any questions you may have. Yeah, talk about, maybe just run over some things that is probably worth taking with you next week as well, to make sure the documentation you need. Can you sell me a pickup? Can you sell me a pickup pick? Hi Bradley, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you on as well. Bradley David, good. He's a new member from last week. Welcome along once again, Bradley. Good to have you along. Claire's put, can you sell me a pickup pick? What's a pickup pick? A pickup pipe, I think you mean. Pickup pipe. Do you mean a pickup pipe? I have one here, but it's not much good to you. So oh dear, that didn't go down too well, did it? That's my new filter that's fallen on the floor, but I'll put that to one side. Oh, Claire, thank you for sending that £3 donation. Thank you, Claire. That's very kind of you. I guess that's a super thanks for buying a cup of tea. So many thanks for that, Claire. Appreciate you doing that. It's always very nice to receive that. Here is a pickup pipe. I can't sell you one directly because I have one, but it's obviously a used one. Can you see there's the gauze? Can you see all those little particles in the gauze? So that's bits that have fallen out into the oil over time and been sucked up into the pipe. But where you can get an oil pickup pipe from is you can buy a kit from Cloud9 Customs. So if you go to the website cloud9customs.co.uk, they sell an entire kit. They come with a pipe, it comes with the O-ring, it comes with a tube of gasket for sealing the sump up afterwards. That is where I'd get this kit from. That's the kit I always get. So there is the pickup pipe. And again, for those that don't know, one of the most essential jobs you can do on an Audi TT Mark 1 1.8 turbo, if you've got a new car to you and there's no record of this ever being done, I would recommend you get this done pretty early in your ownership, because this part here sits in your oil, in your sump, and it sucks the oil up to send round your engine. And of course, what happens is this gets full of all the junk, rubbish that ends up in your oil, bits of pipe, bits of the bits that break off even your dipstick tube, all ends up in the oil. This gets sucked up and blocks the holes. And then what happens is this stops the oil going up the tube around your engine, and your engine gets starved of oil. And of course, you get the red oil can light on telling you there's an oil pressure problem because there's no oil going around the engine. And what happens is you check the dipstick, and you see there's plenty of oil in the engine, and you think, well, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with the oil. I've got plenty of oil, and you carry on driving it. And then, of course, your engine's being starved of oil. Your engine eventually seizes, and it goes bang, all because of this little pipe right here. So if you get the red engine oil can light come on the dash, it's normally going to be one of two things. It's either going to be this pipe is blocked, or your oil pressure sensor has got a problem. The actual sensor switch has got a problem. So yeah, how often do you replace it in a 150? How often to replace it in a one? I would do that now. If that's not being done at 160,000 miles, I would get that done. Absolutely get it done. I would say, Andy, oil pickup pipe was done before COVID, but the car was stored for 2 years. Should it be done again? Um, it's not like something you need to do every few years, every 4 or 5 years. I think once you've done it, you should be okay normally for the duration of your ownership, unless you own it for 20 years. I'd say maybe get it done at least every 10 years. I don't know, maybe six. I don't know, maybe 6 years. Maybe thing is, it's such an easy job to do. I say it's easy. That's not belittling the job. You can do it yourself at home. Beginners can do it at home. I've done it at home. It's easy enough to do. I would do it yourself if you can for £40 at home on your drive on a weekend. Set of ramps, easy in it. I'd definitely do it. And he backed the TT up today with some tools, spark plugs, coil packs, oil and coolant plugs, plus my European travel kit. Excellent. The European travel kit that I donated to, I'm sure, is the one you're talking about. I'm glad you're making use of that, Andy, and it's going to keep you safe when we're out there. Yeah, I absolutely think if you're coming to Europe this next weekend, definitely something you want to have in the car is at least one of these. This is a V6 one, and this is a 1.8 turbo one. So these are coil packs, and these are what deliver the electric to your spark plugs, essentially. And you see the different designs. So the V6 one, the connector comes in from the top, and on the 225, the 1.8 turbo cars, it comes in from the side. So definitely have a spare one of those in your glove box, because they do tend to fail. And if they fail, your car will suddenly start running on 3 cylinders or 5 cylinders. And of course, if you're carrying a spare, you can normally work out which one is causing the problem by disconnecting each one in turn and listen to the revs drop. If the revs drop, you know that cylinder is fine. Plug it back in. If you disconnect another one, the revs don't drop, you've found the problem. So that is the problem cylinder. And then replace the coil pack and you're ready to go again. So that is definitely worth having. So have some spare coil packs. What else did Andy say? He got in there some plugs. Yeah, you can do the plugs. Do you know what? I need to do a full service on the roads before I go to France, because I've never done the plugs in that car. I've owned it since 2018. Definitely time to do it. I'm getting my door realigned today. I'll let you know if it's successful. Oh, brilliant, Claire. Did you buy a set of door shims for that? Because there are some kits you can get on eBay, door shims, which is essentially like a little bit of, almost like a little bit of plastic you put behind the hinge that spaces the door out, and it makes you seals that door up better. If you've got a drop door, definitely worth checking out. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. So anything else? Any other questions, guys, have got? Put it in the chat. Please do put it in the chat, and I'll see if I can answer it for you. We've got about 26, 28 people. It keeps jumping up to 30 and then down to 24, up to 30. So hopefully you're still enjoying what you're watching, guys. Hopefully it's more interesting than watching the TV tonight. But again, if you've got any questions for me about the TT, then let me know. I've saved my CCM. It's in a bag. In a bag, can it stay there? Yeah, it's in a bag. Yeah, so you've saved your CCM, so you've taken it out of the car, and I guess you've put it in a bag to suck the moisture out. Claire, I will hopefully have seats for sale in a month, black leather. Well, there you go. Stuart might have a solution to you, Claire, for your seat problem. Maybe that'd be a good solution. I don't have any seats for now for sale because that's one of the first things I sold in the car. Um, have you ever heard of anyone replacing the engine oil pump when they did the oil pickup tube? Have you ever heard of an engine oil pump failure? Yeah, they do fail from time to time, and it could be done at the same time while you've got the sun pop. I guess it's worth doing. Yeah, I think that's probably if you don't really hear of oil pumps failing very often. But I guess it's if the pickup pipe's blocked, it could be causing problems for the pump as well. It could be causing that to run dry and seize up. So maybe that's a good thing to do. I don't know. But yeah, definitely worth a look at, I reckon, David. I don't know if you're Bradley David Good or David Good, and Bradley's a different name. So I did refer to you in the members only video this week as David when I was talking about your name. So apologies if you are Bradley David Good and not David. So apologies on that. And guys, for those that are members, I hope you find the members only content useful, and I hope you find it interesting. If you think I should do more of those members only videos, then please let me know. It's always good to connect with you guys and give you an update of what I'm doing. If you don't find them interesting, you think, no, they're a waste of time, Andy, let me know as well. But hopefully you are finding the members only content interesting. And guys, of course, if you want to become a member of the channel and access that content, and also access member discounts for merchandise as well, so you can get discount on hoodies and things, then definitely look at becoming a member of the channel and supporting me, becoming part of my clandestine inner Audi TT Sanctum circle of members. If you want to become a member and join the channel and support me, then definitely click down on the link below. Oh, Mr. GMT1, how are you doing? I'm not seeing you for a couple of weeks. I hope you're doing well in Australia. I know it's always an early start for you, but good to have you on there. What have we got? I'm just reading back to the change my oil pickup pipe. Was having the pickup pipe and oil switch change. Yeah, that's definitely worth doing the switch as well. Thank you. Yeah, my clock says 338 miles. So I had to, yeah, blame. That's high mileage, isn't it? Going to see if I can change the brake sensors at the weekend. If I find any easy way to get access to them, I'll let me know. Yes, please let me know because I'd love to know that because I need to do that myself. What's the best product to make the back window watertight, Claire? I've got a guide on how to do it on my channel, so definitely check out my guide. I use the tube of this. I'll see if I've still got it. He says, I'm going to look in my box of tricks. Maybe I don't have it anymore. What I do have is I have a tube of this is called Durco. Can you see that? And that is the liquid gasket that you use to seal the oil pickup pipe sump. So the sump that goes back on the car, that is what you use to make the gasket. So it's not a gasket as you'd think of like a rubber or a cork gasket. Is you make a silicone gasket almost out of this. It's liquid, you put it on, put a bead of it around, then you let it dry and stick it back on. So that's what you use. I'm just going to see if I can find the stuff I use to make my oh, there it is. Here it is. This is what I use, Claire. I'm going to bend it out. Auto sealer. That's what I use to seal my rear window. That's what I use. Does a great job. Seals up nicely. I think that's probably gone off because obviously I did mine a few years ago. But that's what I use to seal my rear window. If you use my guide on how to do it, that will help you out also. So definitely check that out. Magnum, please tell me you're getting with the sensor. Yeah, please update. It helps with the algorithm. Sorry, Mr. GMT. Please update. It helps with the what do you? Oh, please up. What was that, Mr. GMT? What was that? You want me to update? Sorry, can you put that on holes in seals as well? Oh, upvote. Yeah, please do, guys. Yeah, please do please upvote this. Yeah, it helps me. So if you're enjoying what you're watching, guys, please. I think there's an option on there, isn't it, to not only give it a thumbs up, but I think you can also what's the other option that you now have? There's another option on there, isn't there, that you can do to get it going. But yeah, definitely get my video posted up everywhere you can think, guys, to get me out there. Because obviously tonight I went live at my normal time, but the video algorithm was telling me I was going out an hour later. So there's people probably joining on now thinking it was starting at 8:30. But yeah, hopefully you're enjoying it. Yeah, hype. That's it, Stuart. Hype feature. That's exactly it. I couldn't think what it's called, but definitely give it a hype. You get a week to hype a video. Did you know that? So you get, if when a video goes live, you have that first week to give it a hype, and that gets it up the algorithm as well. So please do hype the videos up. I don't want to go begging for hypes, but if you think it's worth it, then please do give it a hype. This has definitely gone off this auto sealer because it feels like a big rubbery lump. So I'm going to put that down. But yeah, if you've got any questions for me in the chat, guys, please get it in there. And if there's anything you want me to go over that I've maybe missed, anything you want to ask about on the cars, Andy, I swapped out my fuel feed and return pipes last year as the original ones had some cracking. Have a look at yours just to the left of the valve cover. Yeah, over here, isn't it? These are the pipes here. We'll have a look at those, shall we? Let's have a look at these. So here are my fuel pipes here. They look like they're in pretty good condition, Phil, actually, to be honest. The ones that came off the 225, the coupe that I've got in the garden, they were in a dreadful state. They'd obviously been replaced and they were rubber tubes and they'd all come apart. So how can we hype? Yeah, I think you have to wait till it actually becomes a video and then you can hype it at that point. But please do like and share. Go and post it on Facebook, post it on Instagram, post it on TikTok, post it where you like, but share away. And of course, you can support me. You can obviously give this a thumbs up. You can subscribe to me if you've not already subscribed to me. You can go and watch old videos and leave a comment. That also regenerates the algorithm to look at old videos. So if you want to go look at some of my old content, add a comment, that really helps as well. So please go off and do that. And yeah, mention the video. Yes, absolutely that. Can we get such a thing as liquid rubber? E10 fuel will kill them pipes. Yeah, don't put E10 in the car is the answer. I think Phil's absolutely right there. If anyone's mentioned about fuel, someone asked last week about that. They said, can I just run regular unleaded in the car? And I said, no, put E5 in there. And also I might try a little test actually, because there's a way you can get fuel and you can mix it with water and you can agitate it, and it will actually separate the ethanol out of the fuel and the water. So it sits in 3 layers. And then what you can do is you can then let it settle again, and then you can suck with a siphon. You can siphon the ethanol off. You can siphon the water off, and then what you're left is just the fuel. So I might do that. Mrs. Jugs sent you 5 members. I hope that helps. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Thanks, Mrs. Jugs. I guess you might have given 5 memberships to people in the chat. Is that what's happened there? Amazing. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to do that. I think we might have 5 new members in the chat then, have we? I wonder who they are. Be interested to know who those 5 members are. Guys, and if you've been sent a membership by Mrs. Jugs there, then please do let us know in the chat. Please do, if you can, say thank you to Mrs. Jugs for sending that to you, because that's very, very kind. Thank you very much, Mrs. Jugs. You are a superstar. I know that Mo Back did the same thing a couple of weeks ago. He added 5 new members to the channel at the same time. So that's very kind of you to gift memberships to other people. Hopefully we get the membership growing up nice and big. And yeah, we can do some real good members only stuff moving forward. I mean, obviously I'm going to be here for everybody and I want to make sure I am available for everyone. But it's always good to have that inner circle of real type members as well. And again, that's probably worth touching on that. Obviously, I mentioned earlier on about Springfest. Springfest is going to be happening, don't forget, on Sunday, the 31st of May, right here in the garage. In the garden. So if you are available, particularly, that's open to everybody, but obviously members particularly, I really would like to get you in the garden here as a thank you. Just come along for the day and sit in the garden, meet other people, and we just have a great time catching up. It's always good to meet you all. Most of the members, I think, well, not most of them, but a lot of members I do actually know now, which is really great, and I've really got to know you. So thank you for becoming channel members and supporting me. It's amazing what you all do, keeping me in cups of tea, which is great. On that, I've actually just today just launched a new merchandise page. Um, I've only got two items on at the moment, and they're both hoodies for International TT show. I need to go off after I've been off the video tonight and look at it a bit more carefully. But if you go to sellshirts.com forward slash, I can't remember the URL now. I can't remember the URL. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. But basically, I've got my own page on Sell Shirts now, so I can post up there different style hoodies, different clothing. You can buy it direct from them. I don't get anything for it. It's just so you're aware. It just essentially covers their cost, but it allows you to buy it direct rather than you buying from me and then me put it in the post and send it to you. It all comes direct from them now, so it's a great way of you getting merchandise for the channel sent to you directly at home. I will have to check out what that URL is, and of course, can't do that because I'm on this video at the moment. But I will put a post up on my channel once I've got the page all as I want it, so you can have what you want then. And then, of course, I can start adding more items. So not just hoodies and t-shirts, we can have hats, sweatshirts, gym workout gear, what you name it. We can have a whole host of stuff available for you guys. Andycharger merch to wear where you want. So there's some nice little college jackets as well, which I quite fancy one myself. In fact, this came from them many years ago. This is one of the one of the first hoodies I had actually that I wore. It's quite a good one, this, because it's dark colours. I can climb under the car, get dirty, it doesn't matter. So if you're interested in any Andycharger merch, you can find it shortly on the channel. But yeah, this definitely needs a clean, doesn't it? This car. You can use my car to make content, Andy. Yeah, absolutely. I will happy to do so. So if you need some jobs doing on it, maybe we can get together, film a little bit of job on it, whatever job you want doing. Maybe we can do something. Liquid rubber check out Dow Corning products. Oh, okay, that's a good one, Stuart. Nice one. Definitely check that out. Still interesting to know who Mrs. Jugs has sent memberships to. I'm waiting for someone to appear in the chat and type something with a green name that I don't recognise. That would be really cool, wouldn't it? Be interested to see what who the memberships are, who the new members are. Yeah, that's a great. See, I see that there, Stuart helping you out there, Claire. That's what this is all about on a Monday night. It's for you guys to come along, ask questions. There's people in the chat that can help each other out. It's almost like a live forum, is the way I think of it, on a Monday night now. You can listen to me rabbit on for a couple of hours. You can all chat to each other and all help you each other. Andy, hi. I've been subscribed for a month or so. I'm looking for a nice Mk1 3.2. Currently budget is 5k. Need to sell a sports bike and ride on mower. That's an interesting combination. So we'll be more after if anyone knows one. Okay. I'm just having a quick look. Whoa, it's all flying about now. Okay, Paul. If you want to drop me a message, if I hear anything come along that's worth looking at, I'm happy to put you in touch with them. There are some good cars out there, but the 3.2s are definitely going up in price now. So that price mark of 5k, it's there are some good cars out there. I did see one that was up today that was I think it was either Morrow Blue or Black, and it was about 16,000 miles, really low. Saw it on Facebook, and it was up for 9 grand. They're strong money now because these low mileage cars. Claire said, my friend Keith trying to get a membership right now. Hope he's lucky. Fingers crossed, Claire. Hope Keith gets a membership. Halloween 9206. My Ford Fiesta wheel hub bolt has snapped. Have you dealt with this and replaced the wheel hub bolt before? Halloween, no, I haven't actually. But interested you've jumped on, because obviously Wednesday night I'm live twice a week now. Monday nights I'm live for TTs. Wednesday night I'm live for Ford Fiesta. So guys, if you're enjoying what you're watching with me on a Monday night, you just enjoy watching me talk about cars, then please do join us on a Wednesday to talk about Ford Fiestas as well, because we're gonna have a Fiesta in the garage this week. Might be taking the bumper off this week on that white Mark 7.5. because it had a fight with the Badger and came second, so we need to get that swapped out. Your hub bolt issue, I've not taken the hub off completely. I have obviously removed the hub. There's a pinch bolt that holds the hub onto the arm. That's quite a pig to get off. And what you have to do is because it's a pinch bolt, you have to get between it on the back of the hub and pry it open to get the pinch bolt out. Otherwise, it doesn't come out very easy. I don't know if it's that bolt you mean that snapped. They're in the chat further up, Andy. Oh, okay. I'm going to look up, Phil. What's the weak points on a 3.2? Timing chains is a weak point. The DSG gearbox, weak point. Just going to scroll up in the chat who the 5 are. I want to see what their names are. I can't see the names. Can't see the names. I'll have a flick back through and hope I'll welcome them all to the chat when I do it. The weak points on the 3.2. Let's talk about that. So if you have got a 3.2 V6, some of the weak points are the timing chains. I've got a deep dive video on that as well, Dave, if you want to check that out. So if you go back through my back catalogue, there is a deep dive on the 3.2 V6 talking all about the timing chain problem, because back in one of my stories again, I suppose, but back in the late 2000s, so 2007, 2008, they started having problems. I think it might be 2006 actually, before that. So they started having early timing chain failures on the 3.2. And the chains were snapping, the chains were stretching very early, and Audi were basically washing their hands of the problem. And this was happening in a lot of the cars in Europe at the time. And a couple of the Audi owners got together and decided to pay for an independent report on this problem of the timing chains. They paid some research people to take the cars and look at what the problems were. And they found a whole host of problems with the timing chains. One of them, believe it or not, was that on the timing chain they were using, it had the manufacturer's stamp stamped into each link in the chain. Let me see if I can get a chain for you. Okay, so I appreciate this is not the timing chain of the 3.2, but imagine the links, each of these links here. So each of these had the manufacturer stamped into them. And I'm going to say on this side, might better just make it out on that side. Can you just see there's something between each of those links there, look here. Okay, so believe it or not, the manufacturer's link was stamped too deeply into each link, which was actually causing a weakness in the chain. So that was one problem they found. They also found the oil that was being used. So the specification of oil in these cars was being recommended that you put long life engine oil in the car. And of course, the trouble with the long life engine oil is it has lots of additives in the engine oil to make it last longer between services. Now, the additives actually work as a detriment to the protection, because what they're doing is they're removing the protection element and adding more extra things into the oil, which then weakens the protection. So it doesn't actually, although it makes the oil last longer, it allows more, the percentage of protection is lower because of the other contaminants and things that are in the oil. So they were actually going longer between services. That was causing more wear on the chain and causing problems. They also found that people were, if you drive the car hard before it reaches temperature, the engine is not protected enough, and that causes chain stretch and wear as well to the components, the guides and the engine. So they found that was a problem. They found people that were doing lots of short journeys were also causing a problem. So people that were doing runs to the station, because the car never gets the temperature, it's never protected. So the mileage it does is always when the oil's not at temperature. So I think I'm just saying that. I think Phil is saying that as well, aren't they? Yeah, there you go. So exactly that. So weaknesses, always use the right specification of oil. Never use long life engine oil. Never drive the car until it's up to temperature on the dash, so you know it's at the right temperature. Avoid short journeys. Um, that's probably it. I think of things driving. Yeah, and never rag it. Don't thrash it. That's the thing. Don't put it up into that high rev range, particularly not till it's up to temperature, because all you're doing is putting those trains under more slap, which is causing them to stretch and causing problems. So yeah, definitely think twice before you rag around in your 3.2 V6. They're not built for that anyway. They're built for wiring the window down and having to listen to the engine, and driving it around and feeling that smooth power. I think that's just my thoughts on it. But you may have different thoughts on it, but that's what I find. But the DSG gearbox can cause problems as well. So there's what they call a mechatronics unit on the gearbox that controls the gear changes, and that can fail, and that's quite a big change, a big expensive job on these cars. The mechatronics and gearbox, the DSG on these cars, is about a £2,500 job. The timing chains on these cars are probably about the same as well. So if you have either of those things fail, it starts to make you think twice about, do you want to invest in the car to have it fixed, or do you want to scrap the car and take the money out of it? Because there's items on a 3.2 V6 that you could break the car and make some money out of it. You could sell it to a breaker for a couple of £1,000. If you think the car's going to cost you £2,500 to be fixed, you might get some money out of it that way. So there are reasons why people break these cars. And the bumper was, a few years ago, the bumper would have been £500 or £600. I don't think it's in that sort of range anymore. But the rear boot and spoiler, everyone loves that rear spoiler, don't they? The engine yourself, even if the engine is toast, you're looking at £1,000 for the engine, even if it's knackered. So yeah, just had mine done. What have you done, Claire? The mechatronics unit or the chains? Because they are expensive jobs. They really are expensive jobs, but they are essential jobs a lot of the time to get done as well. So, just having a look at mine here. I've just noticed on the bonnet, there's actually some actually rust coming through on the bonnet. There's some bubbling here on my bonnet. Here, here as well. Here. There's quite a few little spots of bubbling under there. I reckon I'll have to get that. I'll have to get that stripped off and repainted, I think. Oh yeah, your timing belt done. Yeah. So what did you pay for that, Claire? If you don't mind me asking, because that's not a timing chain you've had done. I think you probably had the timing belt done on your. I think you've got a 180, haven't you? Be interested to know what you paid for the timing belt, because obviously I did mine myself. 1,600 is that? Is that for the timing chain or the timing belt? What car have you got? Have you got a 225, 180, 3.2? Sorry to ask a lot of questions. Belt. Okay, you've paid 1,600 for a timing belt. That's quite expensive. Yeah, that's. Is that 600 you've paid, or is that 1,600? Richard, is the under tray for the 180 TT, is that the same as yours? I think the 1.8T under tray, which is this here, I think that's the same across the range. I don't think there's a different under tray for the 1.8T, for the 225 or the 180. I think it's the same under tray, but it is a different under tray to the V6. The V6 under tray is made of metal a lot of the time. I can't really remember, but I was okay. Yeah, that's quite expensive, Claire, for the timing belt. If you've had some other work done as well, it might be you've had more work done than that. But for the timing belt alone, that's quite expensive. Be interested to know where you've had it done. I mean, you haven't got to say in the chat. If you want to message me privately, you're more than welcome to do so as well. Had a quote off Bryn to do my timing belt. Paul Hutchinson, thank you for becoming a member, buddy. That's very kind of you to join the channel and become part of our inner circle of members. So thank you for helping growing the channel and becoming part of this. Thank you very much, sir. Isha, I've had a quote off Bryn to do my timing belt. Pump and tension for 500 was genuine part. Seems to be the ballpark figure. Yeah, I would say that's exactly where it is. Stuart, Audi would charge you 800. Yeah, so Claire, Definitely seems like that's very expensive. I'd be interested to know um, where you've had it done, and I'd be asking a few questions on that as well. But I'm happy if you want to speak to me offline about it and we can have a conversation, because obviously there's no point raising things if there's other work that's been done. But it's definitely worth calling people out if they're trying it on with people. Bruno says, "Hey Andy, I have a 1.8 T engine, the same that was used in the Mk1 TT. I replaced the whole PCV system, but it's still full of oil. Do you think it could be the oil separator on the engine block?" Um, the PCV is the hockey puck that normally separates the vapor on these cars. But if you've had the whole PCV system changed, then possibly not. Now, have you replaced the PCV system with a catch can, or have you replaced it with a new PCV system? So if you can just clarify that, Bruno, and I'll see if I can help you on that, buddy. But yeah, I'll see if I can we can all chip in there, can't we? New PCV, no catch can. Okay. Yeah, so you have there's a small component on it called the hockey puck. I think I may have had other work done, plus I used Audi parts. Yeah, Audi parts, just you know, so I had the parts done for my timing belt. I bought the parts genuine from the VAG supplier, from Volkswagen. Um, and all the parts together are about £360 for just the parts, plus the labour on top of that. If you were doing it the garage, they might charge you £300, £400, £500. But I think if you are anywhere now around the Midlands area, I would highly recommend getting in touch with Bryn at BWSTT, and he will do your cam belt, and it's being done the right way, and he's going to do you the honest price as well. So I would really recommend using Bryn for that. It's going back on the PCV system question. There's on the PCV system, there's a little black um, breather called the hockey puck, and that can fail as well. So if you're still got problems with that, you might be worth replacing that on your PCV system, Bruno. I think get a new one of those. That would be my advice anyway. If you can replace that, but yeah, let's see what if you've done that, if you've replaced that part. I haven't got one. Well, I might have one to hand actually. You just stay there for a moment, and I'll see if I can find a hockey puck. I might have one. I might not though. Oh yeah, I've got a hockey puck. Here we go. So this is what we class as the hockey puck. There you go. Can you see that component there? That is your hockey puck, your Audi hockey puck. So that's the bit on the PCV system you probably want to look at getting replaced. Thank you, Darren. We'll look into that. Oh, I'll see what Darren's put. If your PCV if it caused a bunch of oil to go into the intake, it might be a good idea to remove the lower intercooler hose and drain any excess oil. That is a good idea as well. Get it out of there as well, because it could already be full, but I'd hope that it's not. But yeah. That guy there, yeah. So that would be for your vapor. When replacing my PCV system with a catch can, I broke the clip on the oil cooler housing, managed to bodge it back, and it's been running fine. Love cable ties. Yeah, there's a way around a lot of things, isn't there? If you can do that. I'm doing this on a 2.7 right now, and the intercoolers had a fair amount of oil in them as a result. Yeah, that's normally, if you're getting oil in your intercoolers, that's normally a sign that you've definitely your PCV system's failed somewhere, because it's pumping all back in. But you can also get that as a problem. I mean, if that is draining back that level into the intercoolers, that's quite a big problem. Um, but but Darren, I know you know your stuff, so I bow to your knowledge on that, sir. But yeah, a catch can is also a good solution, because obviously the PCV systems on these cars now are very old and crack and cause problems. So yeah, I definitely, if you want to fit a catch can into the setup, it's probably a good way of getting rid of that oil. When replacing, just reading that back from Sajjad Shafiq, plan to replace the housing this summer and was wondering if replacing silicone hoses is a good idea. Any recommended kits that don't cost the earth? Yeah, Ford used to do a great kit. but I don't think they make that kit anymore. I don't think it's available anymore. And I have got, I'm just going to get, I've got a silicone hose on the shelf from a kit, and I'm going to just grab that and tell you what the make is. Arc do a kit. There you go. So there's a silicone hose right there. So Arc do a kit. They're pretty reasonably priced as well. Quite a cheap. Cat cans work wonders on my TT. Yeah. So Andy Morton was a great advocate for a catch can. So Andy was having problems with lumpy running, not runny lumping, lumpy running, and causing all sorts of issues, misfires, bad starting, wasn't it, Andy? It just ran really ropey when it started, and I think that the catch can and the PCV system, getting rid of that, has just revolutionised Andy's car. So it's made it go from a lumpy running car into a regularly, good, honest car that seems to be reliable now. So I think that's definitely the way forward. Um, yeah, the breather tubes freeze, then pressure it will force oil out the dipstick tube. The joys of being in Minneapolis. Yeah, you're in a rather cold part of the world there, buddy, aren't you? So that is probably not the greatest one. I think that's the diverter valve, is it not? I think that is on there, but might be wrong. But yeah. Anyone got any more questions in the chat? We've got 29 people on still, so definitely worth staying on for a bit and talking about problems and talking about how we can help each other out and what we need to do. I know that I'm going to, at some point later on, I'm going to get underneath this and do the oil change. I am going to do it. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I need to get it done. So I think I'll probably do it tonight. I'll stay up late, get it done, get it out of the way. Because if in case I hit any headaches with it, because what I definitely need to make sure I've got is a new sump plug for it. And I did have 3 or 4 sump plugs for it when I bought those bits off George. So as long as I've got a new sump plug to go on, because what I need to better make sure is when I put that new sump plug in, it's going to seal. What I don't want to do is change the oil and then find it's dripping out before. Night, Stu. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for being on as always. Always great to have you along. Always a pleasure. Yeah, I think the hockey puck has been changed, but still my engine consumed 3.5 litres of oil in the last 10. Yeah, that's well, you say it's consuming it. Sounds like it's sticking it somewhere else, doesn't it? Is the engine running okay? Is it running lumpy? Is it burning the oil, do you think? Definitely worth looking at the back. Keep in touch, Stuart. Yeah, so Claire definitely wants to look into your seats, I think. That'll probably be the way forward, wouldn't it, Claire? I think you definitely need some seats. There's a few sets available. Claire, I don't know if you are on Facebook or not, but if you are, if you check out what are they called? Not the TT shop. TT. The guys at Crew TT Spares. I think what they're called. Matt Hillard at TT Spares. He's got a couple of sets for sale. He's got a red set and a blue set available at the moment, I think. So definitely worth checking out with him. He might have some standard seats available as well. And of course, there are other great breakers around as well. So we've got Mark Stanley in South Wales. He's a great breaker. I'll turn that light around a bit so you can see me a bit more. And of course, we've also got some breakers in Essex, Jason Case, Adam Tankard, and of course, Circa Miskin in North London. So if you're after any spare parts for the car, they are the guys to go to. They are my go-to guys for when I need to sort my car out. So yeah. Of course, guys, if you're enjoying what you're watching today, then please do give this video a thumbs up so I know you're enjoying it. And if you're not already a subscriber to the channel and you're watching me for the first time tonight, please do subscribe so I know that you are enjoying what you're watching, and then I can help grow the channel as well and reach more and more people, which is what I'm trying to do. Spread the word of the Audi TT Mk1 love. The engine's running fine. It has no leaks. CCW, what about the tax hike on the Mk1? There is no tax hike on the Mk1. Please don't believe all the hype you read. All you need to do is go to the DVLA website, the gov.uk website, and have a look at the government tax. So it's not road tax, it's vehicle excise duty. Check out the vehicle excise duty table. So there is no change. People are going on about this. It's going to double in price. No, it's not. because if your car is made before the 23rd, or registered, should I say, before the 23rd of March 2006, your tax code is not changing on the car. Your road vehicle excise duty is not changing. If it's changing, it's going up by about £10, because there is a big caveat on that chart if you look. So if your car is made before the 23rd of March 2006, or registered before that date, should I say, it is put into a lower tax bracket. It's been capped at the 225 grams per kilometre tax bracket, right? So you will only pay the 390, £400 you're paying now. So don't panic about that. It's not going to be jumping up. Unfortunately, the TT Mark 1 was made for about 2 weeks more after that date. And if you have got a car from that date, from the 23rd of March till about the 6th of April, you're really unlucky, and you are going to be paying that higher bracket of tax, which is pretty awful because it's the same car. But it is unfortunately the way it goes. So please check your registration document in your car and see when it was made. If your car is definitely at a 55 plate or less, you're sorted. If you're a 2006 plate, I would definitely get it checked to make sure that you are registered before the 23rd of March, and that way your car will be sorted. So there you go. I did see Stephen Harper on earlier. Is he still on? Stephen, are you still on? I didn't notice your name pop up earlier as well. I didn't refer to you, did I, when you popped on? But yeah, guys, any questions, bang it in the chat and we'll see if we can answer it. It's getting a bit cold now out here, actually, to be honest, but we'll keep chatting, we'll keep talking. If you don't run with one of these on your car as well, guys, I recommend you get your under tray or an under tray from somewhere and fit it. And if you look here, what they tend to do under trays, because they're plastic, these ones, they tend to catch, lumps and the bumps in the road. And what you can't see on this side, because it's been painted black, just here, you see there's like a repair there. So what I had, you can see on this side, I filled it with some fiberglass because I had a hole in my under tray. So what I did was I just patched it with that. It's not going to cause any difference to the aerodynamics, I don't think. If anything, it's going to stop any draining of fluids away through it, really. But I did fix it so then I can put it back on the Roadster, because it does give the underneath of the car and the underneath of the engine a little bit of protection from the elements as well. Bruno, no smoke from the exhaust, and the exhaust smells normal. Are you guys talking about that problem with the car? That's good to hear. I did not notice any excess smoke. It is really a mystery to me. Okay. I love my car. I want to get to 300,000. That's my aim. And how far away are you from that, Claire, right now? I think you said you're on 159, didn't you say? Pretty sure you said it was 159 or 155, was it? So you're halfway there. I'm sure you'll get there. If you service it regularly, these cars will go on forever. That's the important thing that people don't realise, is you must not neglect the servicing on these cars, because the engineering on these Audi engines, these V-dub 1.8 lumps, and even the 3.2 V6, if you look after it, you will keep these cars going forever. And that's the important thing. Regular maintenance, regular servicing, and they will go on. They're bulletproof. But of course, neglect those at your peril and you will pay the price, unfortunately. I think, Darren, I think she's saying 159,000 miles she's on. So I think she needs 141,000 miles to go. I think Bryn's got a 225,000 mile car at the moment. So, that's a lot of miles. This car is on 68,000 miles, so just over 100,000 kilometers, and it is still going strong. It needs a damn good clean though, because it is filthy. It needs the oil changing and it needs to be driven. That's what it needs. Richard Stevenson, thank you very much, buddy, for sending me €2.49. Thank you very much. That will help buy me a cup of tea. Thank you very much. We've got a long way to go to reach that 149,000. Well, that's a good place to be. That's a nice low mileage car there, Vanessa, you've got. Always good. I'm looking forward to seeing your car next week. Vanessa's car is also featured on the thumbnail of today's video as well, guys. So if you are looking at this video, on the thumbnail, the silver car that appears, that is Vanessa's car. I'm sure she's going to tell me all about that when we go to Belgium next week over a nice Belgian beer, I hope. I'm looking forward to a few Belgian beers next week, because I've I don't know if you've watched there's a little short on my channel actually that I filmed of meeting people in Belgium last year. So there's a lot of pictures of me with my arms around people at the show, and it made me realise when I look back at pictures of myself last year about how much weight I've lost since last year with being on the Monjaro and trying to get my health under control. Because obviously I was pre-diabetic and I had high blood pressure, and by addressing those with Monjaro, I've lost nearly 3 stone. So I'm looking forward to recreating all those pictures this year and looking quite different. Again, I didn't do it for the looks and the photos. I've done it for my own health reasons, but I'm really pleased. I feel much healthier, and hopefully it'll allow me to stay around a lot longer and keep bringing you some great content for the Audi TT. So there you go. Yes, I haven't forgotten that I promised you a beer. Yeah, no, I always like a beer. So yeah, I think they do a nice Belgian beer at the Ariane actually. So we'll have a nice beer in the Ariane when we get there. I think I don't know if they'll sell beer in the monastery that we're staying at on Wednesday night, but I'm sure we'll go out and find some nice dinner somewhere on that Wednesday night, which will be pretty cool. Do we email you our car pick to get you on the phone? Yes, Claire. So that's another thing for my members that I've said to all you members, if you want to feature your car on the thumbnail, please send me a picture of your car and I will feature it here on the channel for a thumbnail. Now, next week's car is actually going to be Jeff Bedford's car. Now, those of you that know Jeff, Jeff is a channel member as well, of course, and he has got a beautiful yellow, Imlay yellow coupe he's bringing to Ypres next week as well. If you've seen it, I mean, it's a beautiful car. It makes mine look a little bit dull, really, but yeah. So Jeff is coming with his car next week. He will be the channel car next Monday. But Claire, if you'd like me to feature your car the week after, please get a picture of it in, and I will feature your car the week after. Good job you didn't do it for the looks, mate. Not the looks. No, I'm talking about the build, Richard. Didn't do it for the build pictures. I've got a face definitely made for radio. If YouTube was radio, I'd be more successful. Maybe because it's visual. Maybe I scare people away. Maybe, but a face only a mother could love. I've got, I think, and my wife, of course, as well. No cheap parts and fluids. That's important for a long time. These cars. Yeah, absolutely right. Don't go cheap on parts. And if you've watched my recent video on OEM car parts, I would recommend any sensor you buy for the car, always make sure it's OEM. Do not buy aftermarket sensors because you will buy them twice because they will fail and they'll need to be replaced. So absolutely. Carnivore solve that diabetic thing very quickly. Bradley Davey, good. Yeah, I think Bryn has done the carnivore diet. It sorted him out as well. He did a great job of that. But I've opted for the medical alternative, unfortunately. I like my food too much, so I have to have something that stops me wanting to eat. What else have I missed? Darren Nidhoff. I have a face for radio as well. In fact, I used to be a radio car show co-host. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's I mean, I try and feature as little as possible in my videos now because I'm just conscious people don't want to be looking at me all the time. They're there to look at the cars. Although when we're doing these shows, obviously I'm here talking to the camera because I need to see what people are saying, unfortunately. But if you want to see me away from the camera more and you want to see more of the car, please let me know, guys. I'm always happy to show you around the car, look at the car, and yeah, go over anything you want to look at the cars. Any of the parts around the garage you want me to dig out and talk about, we're happy to do that as well. Look at the engine we've got in bits at the moment. We can have a look at that. I've got a whole host of parts. One thing I didn't realise actually, you good, mate. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. The bonnets of these cars weigh nothing. I was really surprised. I'm going to show this, and this is not me. I'm going to spin you around for a sec. So this is the business end of the garage, right? So I've got a load of spares up here as well. So this is a bonnet, obviously, but look at this. If you've never taken a bonnet, oh, what's that? That's the door up there. But that is the bonnet of an Audi TT there, and it's really lightweight. It's surprising how light the panels are on this car. You can also see in the background there is also a boot lid, So if anyone needs a black boot lid or a black bonnet, I've got them in stock. They are sitting right here, along with variety of headlights, wheels, parts. I've got a whole engine sitting here that's literally, there we go. That's the engine that we're taking apart at the moment, that was featuring in the content. So you'll see more of that on the upcoming video, on the engine strip down video. So who have we got there? Hello, nice car. I just bought a Project Audi TT Mark 1 1.8 quattro on APX engine. Me and a friend doing the rat run in the car in September will have noticed an all like under the car. What are that bonnet sent paid papaya? I think it may well be, because this is definitely papaya, this bonnet, but I think that black one might be needed to be continued. Well, definitely the common place is to look underbelly. You've got an oil leak. So if you have a look, obviously the oil will tend to flow down the engine. So I would start at the top of the engine, see where you first notice that oil leaking. We'll just have a quick look at the engine I've got here, because although this is a BAM, this is a 1.8 BAM, the APX, very similar layout. So we'll have a look at this and I'll show you where I think it might be. So where you might find an oil leak, particularly, so this, if you're looking at the engine now, so I would be, let's move this over here for a second. So we've got the engine in front right here, okay? So there's our engine. So if I was looking at the engine, I've been standing in front of the car now. This is the cabin of the car, and this is the front of the car. So I'm looking at, as a UK car, to my right-hand side is where the gearbox is down here. To the left-hand side is the coolant tank. That's the way to think of the orientation of this. So on the gearbox side, there is this small half moon, which I'm going to show you, which tends to cause a few oil leaks. Can you see this? So the gasket would be running all the way around the engine under the rocker cover. So the rocker cover would be on the top. Where's the rocker cover? Oh, it's over there. I can't get that. So this here, this half moon, tends to leak oil through there. So here is your rocker cover gasket. I was looking for this the other week, and there is your half moon. That obviously sits just in there. You can imagine if I just put that into place. So that sits in there like that. And you tend to find you get weeping coming from around there. So that's a common place you could be losing oil. That would be the one place I'd say it could be coming out. You might have a leak between the head gasket might have gone. You might be losing oil down there. But if the head gasket's gone, you might start getting milky oil as well, build up of that, a residue. That's a good sign that's leaking. But yeah, that'd be my 2 points to look. The first thing I'll do is look how high up the engine the oil's leaking from. It's probably the best way to describe it. That's a good place to start, you know. So what have we got? Honestly, you look fine. The beautiful part of YouTube is that anyone can post something and it's there as a good resource to help everyone. Yeah, absolutely right. You're absolutely right, buddy. Just looking, appreciate this. Thank you very much. No worry, underbelly. I'm glad to have helped. If you want to send me a super thanks for that, to buy me a cup of tea, most appreciated. You can click on the little super thanks link down below. Have I missed anything else? Can't see. But yeah, guys, if you're enjoying what you're watching tonight, then definitely give it a thumbs up. We've got 29 likes on there tonight. We've got 28 people on tonight. I reckon I've by putting that video live and not doing enough posting earlier, I don't think I've got the traction tonight for it. But please do share it far and wide, and let's see if we can really grow the channel and get lots of people out there that are Audi TT fans watching what we do. Again, it's that's very kind of you, buddy. I was only half saying it in jest, but that's very kind of you to send me £5 for that tip. But I really appreciate that, buddy. Thank you very much. You can also become a channel member and become a supporter of the channel if you want. If you wanted to do that, that's a good way of constantly supporting me and the channel and catching up and becoming part of my inner sanctum. And then it gives you access as well to me to help with any future changes and information and access to me that you may need to get that extra information. But thank you very much, buddy. I will definitely buy a beer with that. Thank you. And guys, if you've got any more questions for me, bung it in the chat and we'll see if we can answer those. because that's obviously what we're here for. And again, as we talked about earlier, that this is the first of 2 shows this week, because I'll be live on Wednesday night where we'll have a Fiesta in the garage instead of the Audi TT, and we'll be talking all about Ford Fiestas on Wednesday night as we try and fix the kids' cars with things they've got going on as well. So I've got a battery to go on, and the battery is the most comical thing on this Fiesta. It's about this big. It's tiny, little tiny battery. We can do a battery change on Wednesday night with it. It's an 063 battery, it's called apparently, but my son's car keeps running flat, so we're going to do a change on that. And we're also, while he's got the car in here, I'm going to take the bumper off, and I've got my plastic welders, which are just crazy. I'm going to show you those actually, because that might help people. Let's cover that off with as a little bit of a video, shall we? Because you know I like doing a little video. So we'll put the, I'll show you over here. Here's the top of the freezer. I'll spin the light round as well. Oh, there goes the there goes the under tray on the floor. So what have I got here? These are a great invention. Now, like me, if you've ever got broken bodywork on the car, yeah, so if you've broken, maybe you've got a broken bumper, I'm just going to get that cable out of there. Broken bumper on the car, the crack. See this bit of plastic I've got here? Can you see this? So you can see it's got a big crack going through it. So imagine you've cracked that there. Can you hear that? Cracky crack, yeah? Now, if I wanted to fix this back together, you'll see I've actually done it already. I've put these staples in, these metal staples. So what these plastic welders do, allows you to get a staple like this. I'm going to show you this because I think you want to see this, because it's quite cool what you can do. Get one out of the packet like that. So you get these little plastic welder, little gun like that, right? And if I turn, see the little light comes on. So I get these little staples like this. I stick it in the end like that. If I turn it on, it will smoke now. Watch. There you go. See the smoke coming off it. So it's getting red hot. And then what I need to do, I'll put this down here. So this, where this crack is, see there's that hole in the crack right there. In fact, I'll bring you over a bit further, and I'll put you further down because you want to see this. If you're not seeing this, this is amazing. I love this. So there's the hole right there. Oh no, I'll bring that back there. There's the hole. Okay, so I would get this little plastic welder, turn it on like that, and it just melts into the plastic like that. You can hear it crackling away there like that. Now I turn it off and I'll let that harden up for a sec. And then I'll just literally pull it off like that. And what that's done, if I put it up now, that has now put that staple into that plastic, and it's bonded that plastic together. So my son's got a bumper that's all cracked at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bumper off, and I'm going to get this plastic welder. I'm going to weld the crack all back together, so it's rigid. Now what I think has happened is what's happened. Yeah, you need to get myself one of them. Yeah, that fella. Yeah, buddy. If you follow me on TikTok, you'll get one of these on my TikTok shop. I think they're about £16. I've actually got 2 of them. I've got 2 of these because I've got a second one, because they come with a load of staples. They come with these packs of staples as well. It's USB-C chargeable, so I think these are an absolute result for fixing bodywork. So if you need to bond a bit of plastic bodywork back together, you can do that. Stick it all together. Then you can get some body filler and just fill it off with some, plastic carbon fiber body filler, rub it all down, and then just skim it and paint it. Absolutely, what a great little gadget. I think they're brilliant. Well, I wanted to show you that because if I find something I think is useful or interesting, I'll share it with you guys on the channel. Obviously, there's not much on a TT like that because it's all made of aluminium and galvanized metal and stuff, so you can't really use it on the TT. But I think they're really quite cool. So that fella in the car over there, if you go and go to my TikTok page, Andycharger on TikTok, and check out the stuff in my store, you can find those and buy one of those. Great idea. I had a crack in the lower bumper and it cracks easy off fixing it. Exactly, Claire. So what you do is with those plastic staples, you weld it into the bumper. It becomes rigid. It doesn't move. And then you fill it, and then you never have a problem again. So you've actually welded it back together. And that is an actual tool you can use. And I sort of came up with a similar idea many years ago with some screws and a soldering iron. Because what I was doing is I had a Mondeo and I broke the side skirt completely in half, hitting the curb in the petrol station, and I bonded it back together by getting screws, heating them up in a soldering iron, and sticking it into the plastic and melting them back together. Rubbed it all down, filled it all. You couldn't see it after that, so it was a good way of fixing it. But yeah, so if you need to fix plastic on a bumper or anything around the home, I mean, I did that piece of plastic, and I've done it in clear plastic, so I can demonstrate. You can see the staples going in the plastic, nice and easy, and it allows you to fix things. So yeah, absolutely. If those things were around when I was a teenager, I'd have been fixing everything with that. And but yeah, great ideas. I think great ideas for fixing things. But if you've got any questions, TT questions, guys, about this car, about your cars, about upcoming events, then let me know. I did say there was a nice event on Sunday morning at Flex Cafe in the East Anglia region that Rob Scrivener organised. Great little event, some great Mark 1s on display, loads of pictures on Facebook, so definitely check them out. And of course, if you are on Facebook nowadays, the Andycharger channel has a Facebook page now as well. So if you check out Andycharger on Facebook, you can follow me there for up-to-date information. Obviously, you can follow me here on YouTube as well. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me most places. So if you want to follow me, you can find me in most places now to give me a follow. So please do give me a follow. And you can, I'm not always willing to help you out with your cars, always willing to help out with, whatever you've got going on, I can help try and fix. But yeah, what else am I going to do? Oh, I'll tell you what I need to find out. I need to find out if I've got enough oil for this change. I've got a bag of cube oil. So I think this takes about 5.5 litres. So I need a bag, like a case and a bit more. What's your email for pick? Claire, my email address is Andy_charger@hotmail.com. So that's Andy_charger, CHARGER @hotmail.com. So get me there. And of course, I was saying to people, if you want a hoodie or a t-shirt, to message me there as well. But I am going to be putting the new store live, hopefully tonight or the next couple of days, where you can buy your merchandise direct from the Street Shirts store now. It's now called Sell Shirts, and it has all of my merchandise that you can buy direct. So the TT International hoodies and t-shirts will all be available on the store later on this evening in the different colours. You'll also be able to buy the normal Andycharger hoodies with the logo on the front and the back. And of course, t-shirts for Springfest, which will be coming up in May. If you want to be at Springfest and get here in my garden and join all the other like-minded TTs, I've got room for 40 guests at the TT show here in the garden in May, then please come along. What's the name by Instagram? I'm actually different on Instagram. I'm Andy_C_Davies. Andy_C_Davies. You'll find me on Insta. Can we get OEM car mats? OEM car mats. Do you know what? They are very hard to get hold of. There's not many sets left. But I actually have them set in this car, believe it or not, because my Roadster had a set. And so yeah, I've got a set in this car, which I'm quite pleased with actually to have. I had a set in my previous 3.2, and when I sold it, I took them out. And one of the last things I did before I sold it, I thought, oh my god, I've left my car mats in there, because those car mats are worth a lot of money. What would you say is an OEM plus suspension setup, shocks and springs for a Mark 1 Quattro? Steve, I would recommend, if you're going to upgrade your OEM, you want to go as near to OEM as possible, is a set of Bilstein B4s, springs and shocks. That is the standard go-to for as close as, damn it, OEM upgrade for a suspension set. That's as close as you're going to get to the factory suspension right now. Very nice, very rare it seems. I'll find a set before September, yeah. So do you want me to show you mine? I'll show you mine. I'll get them out of the car. They're a bit grubby. They are a bit grubby, but this is a set of OEM mats. Here you go. So see the material they're made out of? They're like almost like striped. But this is OEM mats. They've also got the little bits on the back, and you turn them over, and there you go. There's the OEM car mat on the back there. So yeah, yeah. They are a bit dirty though. They need a bit of a clean. And do you know what? And do you know what? I've got a set of these in my Roadster, and stupidly, I didn't know what these were worth when I first got that Roadster, and they were starting to get a bit threadbare. And I ended up with a load of stones in the footwell under the mat, and it wore the back away and destroyed the mat. It's quite gutted. So the Roadster has got the passenger one, okay, but the driver's side one not, unfortunately. I've thrown it away now. What did you say? Just read it up. Yeah, so there you go. That's a set of mats, and the passenger one's even cleaner. And I've also got the back mats for it as well, just to show off. But yeah, so I'm just going to put that back in the car. So my car, from a seat perspective, I know that Claire was talking about seats. I have in this car, I have a set of Alcantara seats in this car. Something that Jeff Bedford also has, actually. We've both got matching seats. So the normal seats, the all leather seats, this is half leather, half Alcantara with the breathable middles. They tend to get a little bit bobbly, so you can shave them back and get rid of that. But that's one thing you can do. Last, I'll give you £20. No, I'll keep an eye on Facebook, eBay. Loads of passenger ones. Yeah, they are. I did wonder that because, you know, like in Europe, obviously they drive on the other side. So I thought, well, maybe you could get a passenger footwell mat from Europe and maybe adapt it somehow to fit the driver's side. But I think because the layout, the shape is different, I did think that. But I thought, you know, that could be a way to do it, because I imagine there's more. I fitted H&R springs on my TT. That lowered it by 25mm. Bilstein shocks. What year is yours, Andy? Just out of interest, is yours pre-facelift or is yours facelift model? Because obviously they were lowered anyway by 40mm, weren't they? I'm looking to change hoses from rubber to silicone. Should I give my car to someone like Forge or just use an Indy? I don't think you can get Forge hoses for them anymore. I don't think they're available. But I say those ones I've got are made by Arc. I think just use a company that will do them is definitely one to look at. I'll say I've got some Arc ones over there, but they're blue, those ones. 2001, yes. I think yours is facelift, isn't it? What colour headlights have you got? Have you got silver headlights inserts or black headlights? If you've got silver, it's definitely facelift. So you probably dropped it 25mm over the factory 40mm. So you've dropped it 65mm from the pre-facelift where they look like they're on stilts. But yeah, that's good. So I'm probably going to wrap up in the next 3 minutes, guys, because it's now 10 to 10 almost. I've been live since 7:30. Still got some work to do. I need to get the oil done on this car as well. Again, if you are enjoying what you're watching, please do give it a thumbs up before you go. Please share it far and wide. MTC are also a great set of hoses, Andy. That's a great shout on that. But yeah, please do share this far and wide. And if you enjoy what you're watching tonight, you're not a subscriber, then please subscribe. If you are a subscriber, obviously let other people know that it's out and about this tonight. And of course, if you enjoy what you're watching and you want to become a member, then please do click on the membership option down below as well. Become a channel member where you can support me further. I think Mike MX Daily, I think that's you that's just asked what my Instagram handle is. I will respond to your follow request in a minute. But if you don't already, if you're not already a channel member and you'd like to support the channel and also support me and what I do, and also become part of my Inner Sanctum group of members, then please definitely think about becoming a member below. And of course, you don't have to become a member. You can support me by being a subscriber. But if you think, you know what, Andy, I've enjoyed your content tonight and you deserve a beer or a cup of tea, then you can also donate to me by buying me a super thanks below or a super chat. You can send me a message and buy me a little donation of a cup of tea or a donut, maybe. I could do. Oh, I love a donut. But don't tell the wife. Definitely do that. Yeah. Not facelift, but I have fitted 3-bar and silver headlights. Okay, so you probably are pre facelift, so dropping it 25 is probably a good thing. The plastic clip that secures the rotor top cover to the body on the car are broken. Are you aware of any aftermarket bars? Not many breakers of parts. Do you know what? So I also have a broken clip on the driver's side of my car. That little round button you push in, it doesn't ever clip down. And I'm going to be taking my car on a road trip around France in a few months, and I'm going to have to go without the tonneau cover because I can't fix it down. But really, I'm not going to have somewhere to store the tonneau when I've got the roof up because I'm going to use that extra space in the back for luggage storage anyway. If you want to knock out the engine, mate, I'm pretty much free every day until Ypres. Yeah, it's just trying to find time to do it, mate, and have it booked in to do because I want to get the video out, and I'm just flat out of work at the moment. That's the trouble. So during the day is no good to me. So I might have to do it late at night one night, but I'll see. I might not do it until I get back anyway. But I just think I need to get some content out because I haven't really put anything out of worthwhileness for people other than Ypres information. Claire Burke, my petrol button has popped out. How do you fix it back in? That's the 3 button. You can buy a set of those 3 buttons from a breakers thing. So they're normally the bracket on the back. Once it pops out, I don't think you can get it to stay back in, but you can get that whole 3 panel of buttons available from a breakers. Claire, definitely get in touch with someone like Jason Case, Adam Tankard, Mark Stanley, Matt Hillard at TT Spares, or Serkan Miskin. Any of those people are available on Facebook. They all sell those parts. Definitely worth checking that out. Steve, I've had an issue with Powerflex top mounts, car sits high. Guess I should go back to OEM. I'd always recommend, staying as close as possible with OEM top mounts. I think that's probably a way forward. I think moving away from that is probably not a good thing, but I might be wrong. There might be ways that you can tweak what you've got. People have jumped back on now. I was just about to wrap up for the night, but now people have now jumped back on. Don't like to drop off when I've got people on because obviously if you're enjoying what I'm talking about and you're here for a reason, then I should keep chatting for a few more minutes. But if there's anything particularly, any issues you want to put in the chat, let me know. I just like Powerflex for longevity. I get that. Powerflex do a great range of bushes as well, don't they? But those silicone bushes tend to be quite heavy going, don't they? They are quite urethane bushes, aren't they? We'll go back to OEM. I think they give quite a hard ride. I always think it's strange that you can lower suspension, go with stiffer shocks or like lowered springs. But the thing that makes the ride really hard is the bushes, the urethane bushes. But mad, really. They are strong, yeah. But I would think that would be the easiest thing that would be the most forgiving, but they seem to be the least forgiving things on a car. But it is what it is, isn't it? But yeah, and of course, if there's anything you've watched tonight that you think quite fancy that, like the plastic welder, the little tiny this, if you're interested in the mini polisher as well, again, it's on my TikTok shop. Get onto TikTok, check me out, Andycharger on TikTok. These are available on my TikTok shop. These are £16, great little bargain. They're definitely worth checking out. And if you are also on my TikTok shop, if you're looking for something that gives you a bit more power for jump starting a car, if your car will not start, highly recommend. A bit more money, but these are absolutely fantastic. I can't really recommend these enough. A jump pack. I'll be taking this to Ypres. This is one of my gadgets I'll be taking to Ypres. And this is a super jump pack. This is a big boy jump pack. I mean, look at the size of this one. This is serious power in there. Look at that. That's the JS 3000, 3000 amp hours of power to get you going. That's enough to start a small city, I think. It's so powerful. Can't recommend them enough. Top Don do a lot of great products. I've got a lot of their products, and that is a fantastic jump starter. Again, that's on my TikTok shop as well if you want to check that out. And of course, if you want a decent code reader, the Arty Diag 600S is a great product from Top Don as well. Highly recommend them. There's the box for it. That is a brilliant code reader. Don't pay the garage £80 a pop when you've got one of these because you can read the codes as many times as you like. Definitely worth having. Of course, for those of you that are coming to Ypres, I will have all my gadgets with me. I will have my code readers, my jump starters, all that sort of stuff. So if you get stuck and you want me to look at your car, read your chains, do any of those sort of readings, check it over, give it a health check with the code reader, I'm happy to do it free of charge. Just come and grab me, say, Andy, give my car a scan, and I'll do it. Okay. And again, if you get stuck, your car won't start, drop me a message and I'll come and jump your car as well for you. So it's all part of the service of being out in Ypres next week. But yeah, I probably am going to wrap up there though, guys, because I'm getting a bit tired now, and I need to get some sleep because I've got a lot on at work the next few days. But I really want to thank you all for being on tonight and being part of the show. There's still 25 of you out there, so you're all watching. I better say, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. If you haven't yet become a member of the channel, please do become a member. And of course, those of you that are on there, my members in their green names, you can see they've all got their green names. They're already channel members. Thank you so much, members, for being members, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So thanks so much for your support. Again, if you want to give me a thumbs up, appreciate it as well for that as well. So really appreciate all the help and support you guys give me. And if you want to, if you're coming to Ypres next week, I'll see you in Ypres, but don't forget there will be a live show on Monday all about the Audi TT. So a good way to round out our April, to round out our Easter. Thank you, Claire, for sending me £3. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. You're an absolute diamond. And again, I will service your car. I want to see you and give you a scan. I'll scan your car for you. I want to see you next as well. I did say I'd do that for you. But yeah, anything you guys need in the meantime, drop me a message at the channel, see if it help out. Keep your eye out on my channel as well for when the merch store goes live, so you can pick up your Andycharger merchandise as well, and again help support the channel that way. I want to thank you all for being on tonight and making it worthwhile, making me jump on and entertain you all. And I'll be back on Wednesday night with Fiesta content. So if you enjoy watching me, please be on Wednesday night and I'll be back with the Fiesta. But thank you very much. Have a great evening. And if I don't see you before, I'll see you next Monday for the 7:30 live. Take care, everyone. See you later. Bye.